If it does
Just
cut out,
half cut, half one episode one day, half the episode the other day, two different
and
experiences.
just paste it at two different t-shirts. You'll find where it cut off and just continue the conversation.
Yeah, try and
The
segue it back
Matrix
up.
is real. We're in the Matrix 5 already.
Ooh. You got a big old cup though. I got this
Oh,
little cup of tea.
I mean, I've always got this.
It is actually quite warm though. Oh, it's actually quite strong. I forgot how strong Australian
I
afternoon
made this
is.
at like 6 o'clock. And it's still fucking hot.
Oh, it is strong. I forgot how strong that flavour
No,
is.
probably like 7. I made it. I don't know. Whatever.
It's nice.
I made it for the potty and that, but
Yep.
I'm like, no, the net's still good. So,
Well, you got the
just,
good cup. That's why. That's why you get the proper like drinking cup, so it keeps the heat in it.
good old
Thermo.
thermo, bruh.
All right. With thermos in and out the way, let's get this episode rolling for another fine episode of the Bros Beardy podcast. Nah, I got you there. It's the Beardy Bros podcast. Then go back to an old there. Gotta get that grunge in there for the episode title intro. What's up, Beardies and Beardettes?
Exactly.
How's everyone doing? Welcome, of course, back to another fine episode. Episode, what, 37 is it? I think, yeah.
37. I got nothing written down, so I think it's 37.
37, so we should be 37.
Because I just posted 36 on the Twitter, so yeah, during the week.
Yeah. So, I mean, the big event, which we'll leave to the end of the episode, is the Sony announcements. That happened, was it yesterday? It was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yesterday morning. Yeah,
My-
6 a.m., bro.
my
I
days are
woke up right now.
My days are quite confused. I mean, I did follow track normally, but I had a weird guide schedule.
You did follow
I
track.
slept, but I still had it going. My computer is a bit worse for wear. I feel I might have put it into the long stretch. I do feel a little bit bad for my computer having to chug along for those days, but I left my computer on for like it was actually longer than 64 hours realistically. But
I saw something about that. Jesus.
yeah, so it was longer than my computer had been running longer than 64 hours, but I got to the point I was like, nah, I'm done. Let's just end this. There's no point. Like I thought I would just try and experiment out, see what it'd be like to actually run a full stream and see what kind of traffic you
worth
pull
it.
by, and pushing it even further, doing like a full near on 3 days, which was pointless anyway because trying to do some of these people I've seen at the moment trying to do like I don't know, trying to break records for stuff, and I'm just like, well, half these people aren't doing full days as it is. As we saw, was it Ludwig that did it? He broke ninjas with a 30-something day consistent stream, I think it was, consecutive streaming. So that was like,
30 something.
I think it was
Jesus.
like this, yeah, so it was like every day, like it was on like 48 hours, like, because it's a cycle of every 48 hours the stream can run for, and then it resets its timer. So it ends and and it starts again by default.
Then how do you
So I can
keep
save
track?
it.
You can easily fudge it. Like,
Well, it saves track of the record time, like the stream stops and starts itself. So it just keeps going. You don't have to. It just every 48 hours it stops and starts again. You don't have to do anything. It just does it itself. So you
Weird.
keep track of it. But there's a lot of people now trying to, I guess, do subathons and stuff. And that's
they should
basically
try
what
and
he did.
they should actually stop that so people don't do it.
Well, so that's what
Have
makes
it after 24 hours. It just unless you're actually physically live.
Well, that's what they were. They actually live, stay recording and live,
Oh.
like actually on stream. Like that's what they were doing. So Ludwig held it for like I said 30 something days. I can't remember how much. It was 30 something days.
Crazy.
But he did consecutive streaming like subathon. But there's a lot of these other streamers trying to be like, oh, we want to break a record, or subathons and stuff like that. But they're only streaming. Some of these people are only streaming for like 12 hours a day, 9 hours a day. They're not actually consecutively streaming day after day after day. There's people being like, I'm going to go record, like this one dude I saw, he's like, I'm going to go for a record of trying to like sleep in VR on stream. But it's like, he's only on stream for like 9 hours, so him actually sleeping in VR. And then he's awake and does other stuff. Like, you're not consistently streaming. You're not going to get any kind of record out of anything. Like, you're doing what anyone else does in a daily basis when they stream. There's a lot of other people doing the exact same thing. Like, what makes you unique, you know? And then there's, what was his name? GH something? I can't... Hustler, G Hustler or something. I looked him up. It was a weird guy, but he's been going for a while now. He's got like 9,000 hours. It's like 300 and something days of consecutive streaming. He's like a full-on
And what the
24/7
fuck?
streamer. Like, it's just like, wow. It's like, if anyone wants to try and consecutive stream now for a record or anything like that, there's no point, because you've already got him who's doing it, and he's already way ahead of everyone. So no
A
one's
year.
even... Yeah, like, he's a whole year ahead. So there's no point, there's no point
No
in
one
anyone trying
ever
to do
would
it.
beat that now. I don't
No,
think.
you can't. You can't. So he had already
I
started
mean,
doing
you,
it like
you
we came
could, but
by.
you got to start it and see when he fucking finishes. Could be 2 years,
That's
3
exactly it.
years.
Imagine just
Like
leaving that stuff on though, leaving that setup on consistently. Like, I guess they
that's
make
just stupid.
like, yeah, it's just crazy. So I that's a lot of power. I feel like, I mean, I guess you're making it back from revenue
Also,
from...
you're frying components way fucking quicker because PCs do get warm pretty quick. If you're
Yep.
left on for a whole fucking year,
Yeah. So imagine that, having to try and sub it
stream,
out or something.
stream, stream in because your CPU died.
And that's exactly it. It was just like, wow, that's insane. So it was a good, interesting experiment. Like, I've had bots come and go. I had people come and follow and interact with, and it's a very interesting experience. But definitely overall, it was fun. It was a fun, opinionally wise. It was fun, but I didn't see any growth out of it. I didn't see any traction out of it. Like, people try and think, oh, and this is just an experiment, being like, I wasn't looking for attention, money, or anything like that, but I wanted to see what would happen. And some people go, oh, what if I do this for money? It's like, well, you can say that and
You
you want
don't
to do
go
that, but
into
that's
thinking that.
exactly, you don't go and think that. And there's so many people that still have that idea, streaming money. Like, people still think like that when you talk to them
No.
in conversation. So I was like, okay, let's do this as
I
an
mean, it
experiment.
is at a certain point, but other than that, no. When you're really up there is when you do get it.
And that's exactly it. So even
I
though
mean,
they're
like,
thinking,
don't
yeah,
stop thinking. Stop thinking
exactly.
like
There's
that.
a lot of, and we know a lot of people that are like that. So
Mm.
and I don't want to mention it too much, but we know people. And some people might think, oh, but I like my statistics, so I went in with the stats of going, okay, let's see what would happen if I did this. Would I make money? Would I get subscribers? Would you got to have these variables and see what would happen. So I had the open lookbook. As someone at my level, I'm not low tier. I'm in a decent spot with followers. It's what, 200, nearly
Low,
250?
low tier is about 50.
50, yeah, because like I said, 250. Like, I don't get many people coming by.
50
It's
to
not always
100
like,
maybe.
it's not, and exactly, it's like I said, I like for 64-hour stream. Let's just go for the whole 64 hours. Being
I
someone
want
that's
to
like
try that
me,
now.
yeah, it is. It's an interesting experience. I didn't really want to end it. Like, after doing like the
Yeah,
24,
but then it gets to a
48
point
hours,
where you're just wasting your
that's exactly
time.
it.
Like,
It got to
just
the
doing
point.
it.
Well, that's exactly got to
Because
the
then you
point.
can't use your PC either, really, because then you'll be slowing shit down, you'll be jumping, you'll be skipping, you'll be... Either it could crash on you, like your PC could freeze, like anything.
And that's exactly it. So that's why I was like, yeah, no, I'm done with this. Like, and for one, it's
Same.
like, for what I'm doing, it did look at one point where I had to take in the consideration of the money factor, only on the being sense of like, okay, I'm doing this for 64 hours. I'm running my machine. That's constantly on. That's constantly running power. How much is that costing me? Like, I'm the one that's going to be paying for this. If other, if other people are paying for it, it kind of makes sense why people do sub for hour kind of thing. It's like, if you sub, I'll play for another, I'll extend my stream for
That's
an hour or
just
something like that.
putting your viewers into
There's the whole
keeping you
guilt
on,
thing, but
like-
it in the aspect of keeping you on, to the sense it kind of pays for you to have your system running, if that makes sense. You feel like you're it's covering the charge of having your system on, which is electricity.
Yeah,
that
but
you're
usually
using.
they usually use fuck all. Really.
But I mean, you think about it, having a machine
like-
consistently run 24/7, though. You got to think about that.
Oh yeah, that
Like,
but
that
like
actually
no one
being-
really does 24/7 things. It's just
No, there's
those
only a few I
weird
see. There's only a
accounts.
few. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, from a statistically perspective, looking at stats, if that's where it balances out, that they're paying for itself in the sense that that's running. Where if you're like doing it, not then coming through, what's the point of actually doing it? There's no point doing it. Like, why do
That's
people
like
do these
everything,
things?
though.
Like, people basically, it's like, yeah. And you got to weigh it out. Like, what's the point? Like, if you're gonna stream, like, don't put too much effort in unless you know. I don't know. What am I getting at? I don't know if it's the effort. Like, put the effort in.
Unless you know you're getting the revenue to pay for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
If
as long as
you're
you're
putting the
breaking,
focus.
as long as but even even's not even good enough because then you're just putting it straight back in to keep doing it. Like it's just pointless.
And that's exactly, it's one of
You've
those
got to be at
cycles.
least making a profit to make it
If you're looking,
worthy.
if you're thinking of doing 24/7 streams, like you got to be seeing the revenue. You can't just be something like, I'm going to do a 24/7 stream. Let's just run with it, and go with it. You know, there's the chances that no one's going to come by, no one's going to pay for you to do this, which is the sense of if you have it as a job, you know, there's no point of doing it because you're not getting paid for it. So don't even try. Like, don't think, I'm going to do this. You know, like hey, by all means, if you want to do it, go for it. Like, I'm not saying don't do it, but if you
Just see if
just
it
think
works.
about it.
If not, just don't do it.
Like, statistically, me streaming for 64 hours is no difference to me streaming 3 hours. Like, at times I was here, I wasn't
I think
here.
I just do like 3 hours now. Why do you think I just do 3 hours and that's it?
3 to 5 hours. I feel like perfectly, any between 3 to 5 hours, you're done. You still got your rest of your day to enjoy yourself, whether it's, you know, morning, midday,
Also, your
afternoon,
viewers
night.
don't get sick of you
That's
because it's
exactly.
only the 3 hours. Then they're ready for the next stream. It's like they're ready for the next day. And like,
It's good to break it up and go, okay, I can come back for the next one. Some people like to come in and check in that you're still streaming and see what's going on. I had that at some points when I fell asleep on the bed behind me. And some people come in trying to wake me up, but it didn't really work because it just didn't, you know, it just didn't do anything. It didn't phase me. So, but it was interesting falling asleep to some of the relaxing sounds and all the fun stuff. So it was definitely an experience being able to set up. I mean, if you ever thought about, I guess if you ever thought about doing it just for a laugh, give it a go. But if you're thinking like you're gonna earn money from it,
you may lose people if you do it.
There's a chance. Like, I feel like it might have been bots. I don't know, but it's just be like, does it? I don't know, it's weird. I know, like, I gained 2 followers, lost a follower. No, 3 followers. I gained 3 followers, lost a follower, which could have been a bot. Like I said, there was no subscribers, even though the whole thing was to also be like, see how it would go for September, because everyone's doing the whole September thing. I was like, let's see how this goes, you know. There was no inclination
the
for people
guilt
to
thing,
sub.
really, like-
And that's what I feel like it comes down to. It definitely feels like a guilt thing. Like, and that's why a lot of these streamers have these things of being like,
if you
oh,
put
this
it
for
in your
now, I'll do
title,
this.
if you put it in your title, people read that and go, "Oh, sub," and they think, "Oh yeah, I'll sub." It's like you just
Well, that's what I mean. I tried all the tropes in the 64 hours, and it did nothing. I was curious. I was actually curious. To try
remember
the different
last?
tropes.
It was last year. I was streaming. I didn't have nothing in the title. One of the people in chat goes, "You know what month it is?" And they said September, and then just sub like straight up. I was like,
Yep.
damn.
And that shows me you don't have to do the tropes that everyone does to gain followers, to gain subs. You don't have to just do whatever you want to do. Whether it's following the herd or not following the herd, do whatever, and whatever happens, happens.
As well, which is crazy. He's like, crazy motherfuckers.
It's just too many people just have these expectations of what streaming is. That's why I wanted to
Because
have.
they watch the big guys who have been there for like
And-
5, 6, 7 years, and
And
they've
that's the
got
thing too. And a lot of these big streamers talk about all these things. And it's just like, it's hard to, once you're a big streamer, talking about how to do things once they're already big.
because they were there from the start. Like they're the main stage. You got everyone early.
Well, there's a lot of people that have like started at the same times as other people, and some people grow, some people don't. But again, it comes down to it: is it the personality? Is it the game they're playing at the time? Is it their outreach? You know, there's all different variables, and that's the thing. It comes down to
I found out people like mute streams too. By the way, as I found out,
mute streams.
I played New Dawn. From the very start of the game, I had no mic.
Yeah.
For 4.5 hours, I had no.
Well,
fucking
I mean,
mic.
I've done that before too. I had a stream where I had no mic for like an hour, and people would just like pop in and leave, pop in and leave, pop in, and I'm like, okay. And then someone came in going, "Oh, you do know your mic's not working."
I was getting that.
And it's like someone came in like the same thing going, "Oh, you do know your mic's not working." I was like, "You fucking what? You fucking what?" And I looked over and the thing wasn't. I'm like, I mean, you were having problems. You were having issues though.
No, this was because I was on the PlayStation, and instead of the mic was ticked, like crossed off.
Oh, like muted.
So I tried unmuting it, but it didn't say it unmuted. So the last 30 seconds of that stream, there was a bit of voice.
Oh, because
After
I come
4.5 hours.
I come by and I was like, what the hell's going on? And that's what I mean. It's very weird because I see people doing stuff like that and it either works or it doesn't. And it feels like it's very weird how it works.
I got 2 followers out of it. So
That's what I mean. It's so weird how they can work or it can't work.
I don't know why I couldn't interact. Like I could type on the phone, but I just stopped the gameplay.
I've sat in people's...
Type on the phone and then go back to the game. I was like, fuck this.
It's just weird. And that's the thing. These things... make me curious. Like I said, I've been doing it. Like I've mentioned a few times on the podcast from since we begun the podcast. You know, back last year, and it's just curious how people like to interact with people on Twitch. Like what makes people want to interact? You know, different, and it's all. I feel like it's come down to it. Best explanation: it's random. It's random.
Yeah.
There's, from what I've done from all these experiments,
people just want to sit there and watch.
Random.
People want to sit there and listen. People want to just interact. People want to just interact, then leave, then come back, then leave, then come back. Like
I said, from it, there's
things.
no. Some people like look at me and just sigh when I do all these things.
Set
and
thing like you can do one thing, but you can't please everyone. That's the thing. You can't please everyone.
Like I do these things and I talk about things. Sometimes people sigh at me when I do this stuff and says like, "Yo," it's like sometimes people think it's all for the money or you're trying to get it. Like no, like I just like to experiment. I get like for me. To clarify, like the situations when I do these things and talk about these things, is I get very inquisitive and I like to understand how things work. If I'm involved in something, I like to understand how they work. And because I'm big into like Twitch and we're doing the podcast and stuff, I've been digging in how YouTube works, how Twitch works, streaming stuff, like really trying to experiment and understand if there's a way to do
YouTube's keywords. You've got to have certain keywords so it brings in people.
And that's exactly, and that's why every now and then when I do the podcast as well, when I upload it, there'll be times where I do keywords related to the podcast. I won't use like for tags. I will either use tags specific for the video, no tags, or tags that aren't even related to the video, to see what the outreach is. And I'm still learning to try and pick up on that because we've only been doing YouTube now for the last 36 episodes. I feel like I need a full year.
Technically 37.
So once we do a full year, I'll be able to get like a statistic from it all. But like, it is very interesting because there'll be times where there'll be no outreach for a video, and then all of a sudden it's boomed up. Like an old video has got like more views again. It's just like, how do I keep track of the stats? Because it's all random. Things get suggested different times, and it just happens to be that's what's trending.
That's why you don't check the YouTube ones, because they can be watched at any moment.
And it's just interesting to see how things.
Like someone new who could find episode, say 34, they can go back to episode 1 now and just boom, 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 boom.
Watch
like it's random.
And it's just exactly it. Sometimes it'll pick up, so then, you know, like say episode 31 will pop up in trending, and then that'll be trending out of all the videos, and then it could pop up episode 9's trending, or, you know, and it can vary. And that's why
we saw it. Remember when I did that thing, it had like 50 views, I'm like, that just got like 30 views, but the ones around it got about 5. It's like, how did this one just go
from one to another? And that's exactly that's why I like to do it. It's like I like to experiment and I get intrigued because if I'm investing my time into this, I like to understand what I'm doing, what I'm working with, and that's why I like to do these things in an experiment. And that's why it was an experiment that just went longer than I thought I was going to let it run for. It was just for a laugh at first, and I'm like, let's see if this actually gains anything out of this. Let's actually try to a sleep stream for a change and see what happens. And it was interesting. Like, there might be in the future there might be room for actual just a sleep stream, nothing else. You know, there's variables for things that I can still do, but like it's just like what. You know, and I always thought about, like, let's do a 24-hour stream, and it would end up going longer than that, but I wasn't technically awake for 24 hours.
They're not worth it.
No. So unless you're going to do a 24-hour stream and you're not wanting to be awake and you're tending to be... Because when I said I did, like, a 64-hour stream, people were like, have you slept? I'm like, yeah, I used the bed as well, because I did part sleep stream. Like, I'm not a complete nut job, and I'm going to stay awake for 64 hours. Like, it's just people immediately assume that you're going to be awake, but I'm like, nah, you need rest, because you go crazy. So... That's one of those things.
I'll be playing some of these upcoming games. I'll be up for like a week.
Well, I've played so many different games as well. I started off with an art stream and then ended with watching BMX bike races.
I saw that, the fucking Red Bull stuff.
So I end up jokingly enough.
Like, what is it?
I was just watching it. I was like, let's just leave this on for people. And I just left it on at one night. I was like, I could end here. And I was like, I'm going to go to bed. So I actually just left the Red Bull run and I went to bed. And I chucked my stream up while I was laying in bed so I could watch the Red Bull event on my own stream in bed. Because I'm like, I kind of want to watch this, but I don't have to try and find the playlist, so I'm just going to lay in bed and just load up my stream.
So, I was for like 30 seconds, I was like, my God.
Yeah, some people liked it, I guess, because it looked like... And okay, so the first half of the stream, which was like 48 hours...
I mean, it works, but like the Fire Kitchen, he does a good job of that. Like, he has constant...
people watching.
It's more educational too, to be fair.
Well, that's exactly it. But yeah, no. So I ended up getting like 200 views, I think, out of that video after being 48 hours. Like the 40-hour stream, people had watched it. Like, or it said 48. That 40 hours at 200 views on the VOD. So I was like, okay.
200 hours.
200 hours on the board. But the second half, I ended up clipping that BMX part, the mountain track, because I made a playlist on YouTube. I highlighted it from the video, and then I made it actually into a rerun, and I actually did it the other day, where I was like, let's just, while I was like sitting around
Yeah,
the day,
that was
I
a
put on
rerun
rerun.
that
It was like 7-hour long stream.
2 days ago.
Yeah, no, it was
I was like,
yesterday.
why are they all rerunning?
It was yesterday.
That little marker, the little
rerun
grey
marker.
arrow. I'm like, click Red Bull.
I even put in the title, it
what I
said
was looking
rerun
at.
Red Bull, and it said replay on the bottom. That was yesterday, yeah. I was like, let's just do this. Let's just see let's just put it up for a laugh, just keep the channel running. I was like, let's just go. And the thing is with that, is it's because it's all on Twitch's end, from the hub, from their servers. My computer can be off, and I can just have that running. Just go choose a rerun, let's let it run for how many hours. I don't even need the computer on. So I was like, let's just do this, just put a rerun on. And when I was at work...
my damn streams over and over.
Well, what I was doing was, when I was at work, after the store closed, I opened up Twitch, put it in my pocket, and just listened to them commentate the events and stuff like that. It was freaking hilarious. I could just listen to it.
God dang it.
It was kind of funny.
I wonder what you were doing, because he was quiet for like 3 days, and then it's just like, he's running reruns of the Red Bull racing, and... I was going to question it, but I was on a hiatus of technology.
Yeah, I had a bit of a break.
Yeah.
Well, you
Because
did
I was
stream.
quiet for the whole week, really.
Well,
like,
you did stream, though, but you were still quiet. you streamed your Far Cry, like, every night, but it was like, you're muted. You're like, why is he on Wednesday? Isn't Wednesday break day and you're streaming Far Cry?
Oh, that's because I was playing Far Cry. I'm like, fuck it, stream.
Yeah.
Fuck, that stream was crisp, though.
Oh, yeah, it was clean, because I popped
I was
by
like,
mid-stream.
why can't this do it?
I opened up on my computer, I popped it up and looked at it, I'm like, oh, yeah, and I started typing in the chat. I was like, Jimmy! And I couldn't hear anything. I was like, oh.
Yeah, right. I'm like, it does. I just type it out.
Yeah, it's funny as. But,
I was on my phone. I had to look up and look down. I was like,
was it
dang it.
Speaking of coming back to Fire Kitchen, I ended up staying up to 2 a.m. last night because he had his giveaway. He gave away his spices and his knife, so I watched that last night.
I want one of them knives. I know it was dope.
Yeah, apparently they're all sold out. You can't buy them. That's why people go mad. So he had a static of like 200
buy
people.
them?
No, they're all sold out apparently.
So you got to make more.
So he had one giveaway. And that's
Did
why
he
people
make
go
them,
mad.
or does the company make them?
Someone he's
do you
partnered
reckon?
with, I think, must be. Oh, that's why they're called the FK1s. I get it now.
What?
The blade's
That's
called
random.
the blade's called the FK1. I understand now why it's called the FK1.
Was that
Fire Kitchen 1.
one though? Why the one?
Because it's the first model blade. Because apparently there's FK2s coming out.
Oh.
Yeah.
FK1.
I was like, why is it called FK? And I just realised Fire Kitchen. Duh.
His whole chat was Fire Kitchen.
Yeah, you had to type in as
Well
well.
done.
You had to type in #FireFan in the chat to enter. But people came in after the thing, after the contest was wrapped up, because it only went from like 15, or it only went for like half an hour. But people came in after.
That's long enough, really.
Yeah, so there's 2 giveaways. For the first 15 and the second 15, one was the spices and the knife. So I did those, and I kept watching, and people come in the chat going, "Oh, type in for the giveaway." It's like, you all missed it. Like, people missed it, and this one dude was complaining. He's just like, "Oh, this shouldn't be. People need to be more accommodating for people's times, and who does this is friggin' stupid." Like, he's basically calling the guy an idiot for not accommodating for a better time. I'm like, dude, he's in Europe. Everyone's like, he's in Europe, and I was like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, I already said to him, like, dude, this dude's doing better than you are. If you're calling him an idiot, he's not. He's like, he's not stupid. He's outside cooking and hunting and making content from it. Like, how is he stupid?
Is he hunting though, or is he just buying it?
Oh, no, he hunts. On YouTube, you can watch him hunt down a boar. Oh, does he? That's a video. That's a video and a half on YouTube. Yeah, that's...
Oh, so the one where he catches it, then he skins it, and
Yeah.
then he cooks it up.
Mm-hmm.
I did see, like, he got hanging from a fucking tree.
Yeah. There's a lot. That's a follow-up video, that one.
I was looking at some of his YouTube. I was hooked. I was just like, video. I'm like, I'm going to go to bed. It's like 3 a.m.
Yeah. But
Because they only
yeah.
go for like 10 minutes, but there's so many. It just gets... just get trapped.
But I was just like, this dude was just he was just getting all salty and stuff like that. And I was just like, dude, you're the one that's complaining that you missed the contest. And he goes, oh, we're already past that. You're the one still going on about it. I'm like, he's just being all defensive. I'm just like, he's just trying.
The fuck?
Yeah, he's the one that kept going. He was the one that complaining about it. I'm like, dude,
complaining about that and still complaining.
I'm like, I said to him, I'm like, you're the one that's complaining and trying to insult the host. Like, he goes, no, we're past that. You're the ones who keep dragging on the conversation. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he's trying to just be like, no. Like, he was hating on it, kept carrying on, and I'm like, and I just went back at him, and I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, he's out, at least he's outside, and it's like, he's trying to give him, someone said something about, like, I don't know what it was, or something, I'm like, at least, like, he's living out in the land and stuff, and he's like, oh, he has a house. I'm like, everyone has a house. Like, and someone goes, no, he goes, not everyone has a house, people rent, and I'm like, that's still a house.
He's probably renting. Like,
I was like, that's still a house. Like, everyone has a house. No, not everyone has a house. People rent. What do you rent? You rent a house. Therefore, you have a house.
It's technically yours until you stop paying the rent.
That's what I mean. Some of these people with their like how they describe things, it's just like, yeah, and what you rent? What are you renting? Like a storage container? Are you renting a box?
Yeah, like what I sent you. The person who was just like.
There's so many people that are dumb. I'm just like, everyone said because I'm like, everyone has a house. Like, everyone has a house. Everyone
not everyone.
I was just like, it was too.
Not your homeless dads. You don't have a house.
No, but you can live how you live. Everyone has a house, and you call it a house.
I mean, true. Or what is it? A condo. You have a condo.
But like I said, everyone at the end of the day usually everyone has a roof over their head somehow.
Yeah.
You know, there's a roof somewhere over their head.
What if he lives out in the bush? Because it's in the same forest.
So it's out in Norway. Out in Norway. It was kind of funny because someone come into the video going, oh, I did a bit of research, I found you're German, and then you live it, and you do all this in Norway, and it's just like, well, nah, shit, he's German, everything's in German, and he speaks German. And you can clearly tell that's Norway. Like, I didn't have to do any research. This dude apparently did this whole digging around research to figure out that he was German and he was from Norway. And I'm just like, I watched the video how long, and I'm like, he's from German. He's German, and he's like somewhere in like Europe, like Switzerland or Norway, and you know. Like,
I knew it was German, but I didn't think it was Norway though.
But like I said, it was easy to tell that it was somewhere in like Sweden, Norway, Denmark. Like,
it's in Europe somewhere.
Yeah,
over in that.
But like this dude did all this research. I'm just like, oh my god. I mean, I guess.
How are you research it? Like, just hop in Fire Kitchen? Like, you would have to stalk the dude to get information.
That's what I mean, because he started talking about all this stuff in the chat, and I was like, I found this, and you moved to here, and you went to here, and you do this and this. It's like, wow, this dude did extensive research. I was like, wow, that's a bit creepy.
I just realised people do that to us on things.
Maybe.
Because we got some hardcore people. Do they like trying to figure out where the fuck we are? like. Because we talk about things on streams and stuff. Oh, damn, we might have to stop doing that.
Dox ourselves.
That would never happen.
No, I don't think it's that bad. But yeah, so it was pretty weird. So I was just like, oh, okay. But no, it was pretty funny still to watch. I caught stuff in the screen.
I'm under a thing for a reason. If it's in their time zone, you just look at the clock on your phone.
That's what I said to him. Like, I stayed up till 2 a.m. for this. I didn't miss it. I wanted to give it a go. I didn't think I was going to win. But it went from, like, either way, it was still kind of funny. Because the stream...
2 a.m. is there, 5 p.m.
It was 6 p.m. for him.
6, so another
Central
hour,
European time.
So it's an extra... So it's 4 hours. Because in the UK, it's 3 hours. So it would have been 5 p.m.
It was 6 p.m. yesterday. Yeah, last night before.
Yep.
But
I know time zones because of SOSS.
But no, it was kind of interesting how it went though, because he was on a like 200 something views. As soon as like it started getting close to roughly the time, it stacked up for a bit. It went up to like 250, went back down, went up for a bit. The amount of people he had in the stream was about.
That's why he shouldn't win. If people just come in for the giveaway and leave, they shouldn't win it.
The highest point it got to was about 360 people were in the chat. 370 people were in the chat, or viewers. And then everyone was spamming the chat, and then as soon as the giveaway was done, everyone left and dropped back down to like 200.
Like, you shouldn't win it.
Like, it's just like, why are you not there to actually support the guy? You're only there for the contest, and that's it. Like, you're not even going to come in, lurk in the chat, hang out in the chat beforehand. You're going to wait till the actual time, just come in for it that time, and then just leave afterwards.
Was he actually on their
Yeah,
chat
he
and
was in
was he
chat as well. Yeah.
himself? Because before, I don't think he was. It was just put on the reruns.
And
Had a
when
had a go.
he just comes in the chat and typed in the chat when he was there for the contest, and then he still had the title up and people coming in going entering stuff for the contest and everyone's like, no, it's entered, it's finished, it's done. And people kept coming going hashtag this exclamation mark this. It's like, dude, it's ended. Like, stop coming in. I'm like, and I going like, hey, Fire Kitchen, you might want to change the title of your stream. But clickbait, I guess. But so
I
many people
mean,
still coming into the chat going giveaway.
that is after a contest. You're gonna take it down, otherwise you get idiots in there. Or like, oh, contest still running.
But I guess he doesn't really care because he's only there to chat, and because it's running 24/7, it's still viewers, it's people interacting in the chat. It's, it's one of those things. So he's just like, whatever.
True.
I guess you can be like that. I'm just like, oh,
Winning,
winning.
winning.
But
Yeah, that's why I subbed on YouTube. I get a new video every month or so.
but
Week,
no, it's pretty
whatever it
interesting.
is.
So what
Very
else we
good.
got? I'll do something more minor, still unrelated to Twitch. You might have seen it, and a lot of people have seen it recently. The good old HOSS bot going around.
Hello?
The HOSS bot.
Hotspot. The
You
fuck
seen?
is?
You seen?
Hoss. Yeah, I got it in my
Good old
in my
HOSS
stream.
going around and following people.
What is that?
So it's a spam bot going around like always with a lot of it's been going on for a while now. It's come back again. Apparently he was there for a bit. He went quiet and he's come back again. But he's been going around like following everyone and he's got multiple bots following people. But apparently it's one of those hover bots where if you click on his name and go to view their profile, it grabs your IP. Apparently, it's an IP grabber. Which I guess, if once you've got it once, then it knows to target your IP in a future time when you stream to send more bots your way. And there's a thing.
I banned him. Well, one of my mods banned him.
Well, there's a thing. Reading into a lot of that stuff, I've found as well now with a lot of the stuff that apparently that happens with users on Twitch. It's weird, which might part and part with statistics of viewers, but if you statistically, I don't know if this is actually true. I'll state that I don't know if it's true, but apparently saying if you statistically get enough bots viewing your stream gets pushed down into a bottom list, into a almost like a blacklist, like you almost get shadow banned. So that's why people, because you're.
But then Twitch are allowing the bots in though.
I know, but then it's letting other people suffer. Apparently, I don't know how this. I don't know how true this is though, but that's apparently what someone was saying that.
Because we ban Hotspot, but he can still sit in the fucking chat.
But it's interesting though that the more bots that are following people, it's actually affecting the streamer themselves, not the actual bots themselves. Like, it's affecting the streamer. So the more bots they keep having appear in their streams, the more less likely that streamer's being pushed. And I'm wondering if this is a nefarious thing that people are doing with these bots to try and bring down
Put
streams in
themselves
general.
up.
To push, not, I don't know, like bigger streams, but just general streams in general. Because apparently these hotspots affect everyone, presumably. But yeah, no, apparently that's interesting. So if your chat's more common to get bots, you'll keep getting bots, and it'll keep putting you into a shadow ban, which unintentionally you didn't need to get. It just puts you in because the algorithm sees bots and goes, oh, you've got bots in your chat, you're fubbing views, I guess. So the more bots you keep getting in your chat,
Yeah, but you got to have sound on to be a view.
I don't know. It's weird how the algorithm works. Apparently, that's what someone will say. So I don't know how true this is. I'll state that, but it is kind of interesting if that is a way that the
I was
system
told
works.
it was a hate raid bot.
No, there's more of that I'll get into as well. I mean, it could be related. It could be related because it has only been recently for a while now that's been happening
Ever
this year.
since.
But it's just a blank, empty bot. Maybe it is, so it's an IP grab to find people to grab. Maybe that's why it's using it. But there's been I've seen several different HOSSes come into the stream and follow and stuff.
Yeah,
Then
wait,
they unfollow.
let me load up my thing. I'll show you what HOSS this is. It's got a lot of numbers behind it.
Yeah, there's either a lot of numbers or there's like underscore something, and there's all kinds of stuff like
This
that.
one is HOSS 00312 big space.
And that's exactly it. And there's a lot of those that come by. Sorry that. I just had to take a swig of water.
Hell?
What?
Okay, I got a HOSS 00312, and then 5 days later I got host 00312.
Host.
Yeah, so I got HOSS and then host.
Oh.
I was thinking, what the fuck? I didn't notice that before. That's weird, bro. HOSS and host have the same numbers. That's
Yeah,
just not a
that's
coincidence.
what I'm saying. There's all the different names that they come under. Oh, that made me
Oh,
very
sorry,
musical.
ban them. In your chat,
That's
ban them.
exactly it. If you soon as see them come by, just ban them straight up. Don't click on them. Don't interact with them. Just the only interaction you need is a ban.
Because they don't say anything. Like, I didn't know I was even in there.
No, they just come by and they follow and they just disappear.
Because I was playing and then because it was on PC, I think. Because then I had on the chat, it was like someone got banned. I'm like, who just banned 2 people? It was one of my mods.
Keep it under control.
Just ban. Yeah, it was like, thank you.
So yeah, so it's interesting. So yeah, so anyone that streams, if you see them come by, just delete them. Just ban them. Straight up ban them, report the accounts.
And any bot, really.
Well, that's exactly any bot in general, but apparently
You know who's a bot, though, because like we've seen that electrical longboard, they're not even a bot, they're just a person who
well, they're not even
looks
really
at
on there
everyone.
anymore. They're kind of like a bot-related system. They're meant to be kind of like a view bot. Is that someone coming in? Felix?
Felix, I think. Weird.
Oh, that's making me mucusy. Oh, it's making me a bit phlegmy, this tea. Uncomfortable. Maybe it's trying to clean me out. Maybe that's what the tea is doing, trying to clean me out, but I'm getting a bit phlegmy.
Well, I drink it. I drink enough of it.
Does it ever do that? Do you feel like you ever get cleaned out? I mean, tea's meant to be cleansing. Like, that's the thing of tea. It's meant to cleanse you.
Well, green tea is anyway.
I mean, what's afternoon? Is it like a black tea?
Yeah. Well, do you have milk in it, do you?
No, it's just straight.
Oh, well, that's been nothing wrong with it then.
It's just making me a bit phlegmy. I'm wondering if it's just trying to get rid
I
of...
just drink straight black tea and nothing happens to me.
Yeah, but you've been drinking it for a while. Like, I'm on and off with my tea. I'm wondering if it's just like trying to cleanse me and it's like kind of like, I guess, detoxing me a little bit. Maybe that's why I'm getting a bit phlegmy. It's
Yeah,
trying
but
to,
why are you getting phlegm?
it's playing with my sinuses. It's like, it was fine. I started drinking more of it, and then my sinuses starting like getting congested.
Just take a big whiff, just...
And that's why I'm wondering if it's cleaning it out, because I just had to like clean my nose out just before. I was like, oh,
well, then after the potty, put a couple of garlic things up your nose and just leave them there.
I need to do that, don't I? I want to do that. My sinuses have been really bad.
You bring out lay there for 10 minutes, take them out, and it's not just...
Yeah, because my sinuses have been pretty bad lately. So maybe
Why not? Mine always bad.
Oh, that's making me uncomfortable. I'm playing with this thing the last couple of days too on my phone as well. We're using one of
thing on your phone.
those ghost app things. Apparently, I don't know if it's legit or not, but apparently you have it run and it like it
Ghost app.
Yeah. I'll give you a quick show. I'll show you. So I'll bring it up. So you go GhostTube. It's called GhostTube, and apparently it can tell you if there's like. So I've got it on there, but it like has like a little reader and it has a little magnet magnet detector like regions and stuff, and it has like stuff that talks to you. It's like a area. Oh no, but yeah, the last couple of days it has, when I've done stuff, it has been responding apparently when I've been using it. I don't know if how legit it is or not.
That's probably just an algorithm thing as well. Just
it just knows words talking to you or something. But it was still funny because it was I had it running like that, just running like that. I'll just do it now for a sec, just leave it running.
Yeah, but
when I was streaming, I had it running. This is the interesting part. I had it running and I was like streaming on stream, and
you were streaming on stream.
Yeah. While stream, I mean, in the sense of streaming that whilst on stream. But I was playing Fortnite on stream, and it was kind of ironically that it just happened at the right time. But I was shooting a target of Fortnite, and I kept missing, and then out of nowhere the thing just goes closer, and I'm just like, what? Like, and I'm trying to shoot, and I kept missing, and I just by a hairline, I kept missing the target. I finally got him, and just kept.
Then you're being watched.
And I'm like, is this thing watching me? Is it know what's going on? And like, because lately it's been eerie. I don't know if you're up on the paranormal stuff.
Webcams see everything, bro.
That's what I mean. So I'm wondering, like, do they detect it, and then they get access to my IP because on the network, and they realize my IP is, and someone comes by and watches, and then goes.
Well, then if you're playing like Rocket League or something, you begin should have jumped higher.
Well, it was weird because I had the thing running as well, and while I kept left it going while streaming, yeah.
Which is also, guess what's on Rocket League right now, Des? Your favourite game mode.
Yeah, the gridiron, it's on. Oh, I need to play some more.
And you get a gridiron boost.
I need to play that.
Look, it shoots out the balls going.
It's not saying anything at the moment. I was just seeing if it's a test. I got it running, give it a test. But no, it's just kind of funny because when I was playing as well, I left it running, and because sometimes I'd test with it and it won't say anything. But when I was streaming, I had this running. This thing kept going off, and I'm like, either someone's watching it, then someone comes on the program, they type to you, and they just make these things say stuff. But like, every time I was doing something when I was playing, if there is a spirit and it does pick up spirits, I don't know. Like I'm not
I don't
acknowledging
reckon.
or
It's a
denying.
fucking mobile. How would you download a thing strong enough to do shit like
But
that?
like the funny thing was though, while I was playing Fortnite and trying to get these kills and stuff, this fucking thing over here was giving me sass. It
Yeah,
was
which means it's probably, I don't know. It's probably
That's what
watched by
that's what I
someone.
mean. Like, there's someone watching and they just like know what's going on, but it's just like they're giving me sass. So like giving me like you know when you play against people and you're like typical playing, you got those teammates and they're just like, oh, you know they give you they base troll you and they give you like
Yeah.
they shit steer like, oh, you missed, oh, you know, stuff like that. It's just like this thing started going like that. It started like stirring me. It was trying to like mess with me. Like people that come into your chat and stuff on stream that try to like troll you and stuff like that. He was doing stuff like
That's
that. And
funny as.
I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? And it's like trying to give me shit, and I'm just like, what? Like I'm playing, and it's just like give me sass, like, oh god, bad, you get good, stuff like not like that exactly, but it's like being like that kind of thing. It's just like friggin' hilarious. No, it's not doing anything.
You better get good.
But no, it was funny. The
uh,
other thing that happened too, with it, which was kind of ironically perfectly timed, was Al's parents were over. This is the funny interaction with it as well. Where we're talking about my work, and I was like explaining my shift, and he was like, "Are you only doing like 2.5 hours?" I'm like, no, it's 3 hours I'm working, and then the thing goes slave, and I was like, I see how it is. I was like, who's listening to the conversation? It's going like talking about how many hours I'm doing. I'm like, no, I'm only doing 3 hours. It's like slave. It's like
that's definitely being watched by someone
it's
then,
like
because
they're
that's
being
just.
sassy. Like whoever's on the other end, like sending these keywords through, they're being like sassy. They're being a smart
You
mouth.
might want to Google that app because it might be something bad.
I don't know. It's kind of funny, but people have been using it on TikTok. But I've been feeling stuff around the house lately, in the house spirit wise, and it's just been a bit uncomfortable at times.
Yeah,
Ours
spirits
caught it a
wouldn't be
few
going
times.
slave or anything. Or
Well, we had a good one last night too when we started talking to it. It started responding, and I'm like, because apparently Al saw it sitting on the couch. She says it looked like a skinny guy in his like late 30s, possibly 40s. And he's just chilling in the house. I'm like, well, wouldn't surprise me. I've seen a skinny figure out the corner of my eye wandering around the house as well. He likes to come in, look at the guinea pigs, and I feel like they look at me while I'm playing. Sometimes I've gotten confused and thought it was Owl poking the head in. Because I'm sitting here every time I've talked, that's why you may see me look to the side. And I keep seeing something out the corner of my eye, poking the head into the door. And I look and I think it's Owl, but it's like there's nothing there. And that's what they always say, you catch it out in the corner of your eye.
mm,
And I'm like, just every time I see it, that's why if you've ever seen me sitting here and I turn this way and look, it's because I think I'm seeing something in the corner of my eye. And it's very uncomfortable because I'm
that's
just,
a lot then.
yeah, it's very uncomfortable because I'm sitting here and I feel like someone's watching me. And I'm just like,
Why don't you turn your desk then so you're back that way and then you're
face
just
is straight
facing
up
the
facing it
door?
all the time. I know. So sometimes there've been times even when I'm streaming where I thought Al's poked a head in, and I've gone, oh, like I'll sit there playing doing something, and I thought Al poked a head in, and I went to go, oh yeah, well, yeah, and I'm like, oh, there's no one actually standing there, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go back and keep playing now. I'm like, oh, hey guys,
It happens.
and I'm just like, god damn it. But I feel like if it is, it's just a shit stirring spirit. It's just a troll. I'm
Mm.
like, god damn it, stop! Do you have to harass me? Do your own thing. Like,
Yeah, calling you a slave and
it's just
shouting closer, closer, and
trolling me. Like, get good. Like, it's like you fucking what? Fucking troll. Live in a house with
yeah,
a spirit. The spirit
just
has
go
to
and
be
burn
troll.
some sage.
Well, exactly. I got to sage the house, but no, we are talking to it the other day, and I was like, because it seemed to pick up a fair bit of conversation, and it was just like going on about Abigail. I'm like, who's Abigail? Because there's only like there's me. It's like, do you like me? Do you like Jack? You know, do you like Max? Do you like Allison? You know, like who do you? And every time I talk about Allison, he goes Abigail. I'm like, well, this isn't Abigail. This is Allison. I don't know who this Abigail is. It's like, do you like Abigail? No. I was like, okay, whatever.
But then why say Abigail?
I don't
It's
know. It was
like,
weird.
what?
Yeah, because actually, I'll bring up. I'll have to find the recording for it, but it was just a weird experience running with this app. It's just so strange. Oh, Kyle.
I'll get rid of it before you actually do summon
I
something.
just opened it then. It just said Kyle.
The fuck?
Yeah, he's from. I'll send the recording if you can hear it. Oh, turn it up. See if you can. You should be able to hear it.
Nothing.
All right, we'll give you a break now, okay?
No.
No. Do you want us to give you a break? Can you hear
Nothing.
it?
Nope.
Do you want us to leave you alone for now?
Oh.
I'll go back. I'll go back. Where's the other one? Is your name Gerald? Like, because he said his name was Gerald at one point.
Sorry for the people listening.
I know. Sorry for the people that are listening. It's just like very awkward. I'll go the other one.
Alright. We'll give you a break now, okay? No. Do you want us to give you
Can't
a
hear
break?
anything.
Can't hear anything. It's playing. I'll have to try and. I got on TikTok. I'll see if I can find the clip and I'll upload it. Sorry, but so basically, it was spitting off names, and I was like, "Is your name Jessica?" And he goes, "No." And it's like, "Is your name Jer?" Because he goes Jessica. Because it said Abigail, and I was like, "Okay." I was trying to get Abigail. I'm like, "What is your name?" And it just goes Jessica, and I'm like, "It's like, is your name Jessica?" And he goes, "No." And he goes, "No, Gerald." And I'm like, "Is your name Gerald?" And then just doesn't reply. I was like, okay. It was
It's
very.
definitely just random then. Like,
It was very strange, and then the water started running. I was like on the thing, 'cause it's like, what? I'll turn the tap on, and then the water starts running, and he goes, "What is that?" And I'm like, it's water. I'm like asking me what that noise is. Like, it's water. It's fucking weird, but yeah, sorry you couldn't hear that.
it's probably a person on the other end just typing shit.
That's what I mean. It was weird. That's what was weird. Then when I opened up, it just said Kyle. I was like, okay.
It's just disturbing because you can download an app and it knows what you're saying to it because people are obviously there
Algorithms,
listening.
smart algorithms. People are listening. Like Google
That's
listens
more
all
of
the
a
time to
person.
stuff.
More, that's more of people listening. That is because they're answering questions and shit and saying,
Yeah.
"What is that noise?"
What is that noise? I don't. Yeah. Is there any spirits around at this point in time? Chicken nuggets. I'll leave that running. See if I can find. Pick it. I don't
Chicken
know if I'll pick
nuggets.
it up. Chicken nuggets. But yeah, I know it's just one of those weird apps. I just did it
Chicken
for a laugh. It's
nuggets.
just been funny as. But
I want chicken nuggets. Ooh, with sweet and sour sauce.
Szechuan sauce. But we'll come back to the thing we talked about last week with the
Yes.
no, I'll turn that off.
The
With
whatever it
Twitch
was.
when we talked about the hate raids. So a follow-up to the
yep.
hate raids. There's a follow-up on that. Looks like Twitch has done some digging around on basically the main accounts that co-host a lot of these hate raids events. So apparently a lot of these happen off of Twitch. These are organised. Apparently there's Discord servers where these are organised in. It looks like apparently maybe a few people have dug up and spilled the beans on a lot of these because apparently that's
They would have joined them and then just ratted on them.
possibly, yeah. There's people that are in them that have just been like, no, it was kind of like people there are because you got to think about it, there's a lot of people that are in these groups and they'll follow along with it, but they don't really interact. They just see what happens, and then there's people. Then you just have these
Like
people
me.
that they just join the groups and you go, let's see what happens, and then all these people just come to these streams, just spit all this crap. And you're like, oh, okay, this is what's happening, you know. So apparently, there's been a lot of these Discord servers where these are all organized in, and they go around and they just get on the channel and then they raid channels and then they just spam them with all this shit out of under the sun and just move on to the next one.
Yeah, they're being racist and homophobic and so I'm
Exactly.
like,
So, but apparently they tracked down 2 accounts that organise these events. So there's 2 Twitch accounts which, of course, from now have been banned, but they've been banned multiple times by the sounds of it, and they always create new accounts. So if you ever see them, they're usually in, one of them uses their name quite common, which is Cretan. Cretan's always at the start apparently. So they've got their current account they found was Cretan Overdose and Cruise Control. Well, they're the 2 accounts that organise these raids at this point in time, and then they rally people to go. But apparently what they're going to be doing is Twitch is cracking down and is apparently going to be suing the 2 organisers of these events. So that's what some of the articles
so they bloody should.
So they've actually, because it's not just damage to the people, it's damaging to their product as well. It's Twitch as a service, so people coming in and basically ruining their service because you've got people just wanting to step away from the service.
The person who you've raided, it's not just them, it's the people in that stream as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you're damaging and affecting people. Like, it's everyone's sense of, like, people that are, I guess, bigger streamers that are making
Not just that, because people in streams, you could have one of the employees just watching your stream and that comes in.
Anything, but like as a service, you don't want having that on your service because that's damages to your to your product. That's, you know.
I mean, and they'll definitely win that lawsuit too. Like, they'll definitely win it.
So the names haven't been revealed yet at this stage, but they found
Well,
most
yeah, I
information
mean,
and
it'd be
details.
mean to do that. Like, just let it be dealt with and just move on.
So that's what they're trying to get everything organised, and then they're going to be doing some stuff. So that's interesting.
If they keep doing it, just keep fucking suing them. Like, keep.
Well, exactly. People just say as well, if you see those accounts come by, that's why it's kind of funny enough that they always use Cretan as their main account. They always keep, because they think it's funny, so they keep going, "Oh, just make a new account with the same name." So then we just keep doing the same thing, just a different ending. So they heard like they mentioned a few different names. They've gone through accounts and just made one account.
What if you bag out someone and it's not the real Cretan? They're like, oh, it's Cretan something. It's like, you fucking tool, you hate Ray. Like, I'm innocent.
Yeah, exactly. It would suck. But like they're saying, like you see most of these names, just ban them straight up, which would suck if you decide to go with that name. You're like, I hate on something, just get banned. Oh, what do I do? What am I get banned for?
Our cruise or someone. That's a pretty
cruise control.
Oh, cruise control. Like people don't actually have that.
It's very basic names though too. They're easy to be passed up on.
Cretan and cruise control. Like you think that.
But yeah, so it is very interesting.
Hopefully they get dealt with accordingly.
Hopefully they do go through with the suing.
If not,
as well.
then just keep banning them.
That's exactly it.
Ban them, everyone. That's why everyone needs mods who are in there, so they can just ban them straight up.
Exactly. That's what like we've said before. Like if you have these problems, just ban them straight up. Ban them. Get them out your way. If you don't want them in the stream, just ban them. Like people going like once you ban one,
I'll give them 2 chances.
Like
I'll tell them to stop. If they don't stop, and stop again. If not, you're gone.
Yeah, I can understand your streaming. Yeah, it may interrupt your stream, but stop what you're doing. Click on the names, and you just start banning them. Even if they're spamming through the okay, there's maybe 100, 200,000. You know, I don't think they're gonna have 2,000 people. If they do, that's just ridiculously organised because that's just gonna be.
If it is, fucking take it. Just relish it.
That's what I'm saying. If you got 2,000 people hitting you, like, how are you gonna be able to read the chat? You're just gonna be like, blah, 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 blah. How are you gonna even like respond to your chat? You're just like, cool, and just keep going. Like, how do people?
Like, I do the SOS, and I get that 100 people in there or so, and that chat goes berserk sometimes.
That's what I mean. So if you've got like 100 people
in
your chat, even if it's just 100 people and they're going through and being offensive, you should be able to pause your chat, click on that person's user, and no. Well, I found when I'm scrolling.
I mean, eventually, because it deletes all their comments, so you'll eventually whittle it down.
That's what I'm saying. You just go through their accounts and see the names, and you go ban account. If you look
you put it on slow mode, then it puts one every 30 seconds.
But if they've but they're saying though, if they come through and they message once, they're going to message again. So once you've already started going through the list, you see the name. Okay, this is offensive. Ban, delete. But I have looked at their new Twitch's new choices as well now, like categories for sensitive content and stuff like that. So there's some new algorithms they've already implemented for racial, sexual, stuff like that. And yeah, I tabbed a few of them on and off. So. Kept some stuff there so people can still say things and not be.
My ban words are just the C. I've got no ban words.
Well, you got ban words, but there's actual. It must detect on what people are saying as phrases. So they've actually must got an algorithm because you can actually tick on and off if you want that working.
Mine's just racist stuff that I've got ticked. Like I don't care about everything else really. Like swear words. That's just we're Australian. We swear all the fucking time.
Exactly. Did you go through and tick all your options? Did you go through all those?
Nope, I haven't even seen them.
Okay, so yeah, the stuff. There was one category which was swearing. I think there was one for vulgar language. Another one for like sexual racism.
You can have vulgar language. It just depends what words they're using.
It was kind of interesting that they had all these different options. It was like, shouldn't some of these just be banned by default? Like, it's weird that they give you an option if you want it to still be in your chat.
I mean, racist. Remark that should be banned permanently, no matter who you are.
That's what I thought was a bit weird.
But then again, there's weird terms that I probably don't even know exists that people use.
Oh god! Oh wow! There's a lot of users that banned. Holy shit! A lot of these bots. Yeah, where was it under again? There was a
Yeah, well, I'm happy. I only get like 1 or 2 bots to freaking stream now.
There was roles of activity insights. No, what was it under again? There was something there. Settings? Moderation? I can't block terms and phrases.
Wait, let's put a list on this stream. Just put up the whole page. And
yeah, I gotta find it. Yeah, I have to find where it was again.
Because that would probably take you a bit.
Yeah, there's a whole thing. They had different categories because one of them was like that's what got me though. Is like they had a toggle on off switch and there was stuff that was saying like because you turn the thing on to then adjust, so you could just leave it off altogether and allow everything to come through with no filter, or you could turn it on and choose which category of stuff you wanted to come through. So you could allow. It was weird. Like there was like racial bullying, sexually bullying remarks. I'm like, why would you leave that? Why would you leave that on by default? Like, why would you allow that to begin with? Like, who would want that to come through? Like, I mean, I have recently seen people do roast streams, apparently, but I'm like. Okay.
Or just roast me, like...
Roast me, it's like, okay. But yeah, there's different categories. I'll find the thing, I'll have to actually find and put it up. I'll have to actually put that in and edit. But yeah, it was
So
interesting
give
that it had.
people an option of you can actually do this.
So it was actually interesting. There was 4 different categories that they actually categorized. So, like I said, how would you know these phrases? Like, how would you know how to censor it? And they've split up into 4 different categories. So one was swearing, one was basically racial, one was sexualized, and then something was another thing. But there's all these different categories they put them into, so you know to turn them on and off. And I was like, well, anything racial to begin with should just be immediately banned. No one should be being racially remarked.
There shouldn't be an
to begin
option
with.
for
Like,
that. It's just gone.
but I guess in the sense they've done it though is because it's to help the algorithm work. Because if you were to just ban it, how would you? I'm guessing how would you know exactly what to ban and what not to ban? I'm guessing, like it could find things that
I
look.
guess, but
You could have something that comes in that could be suggestive that it might be racial, but it's not, and it'd be like ban. You know, how would you?
Yeah.
Like I guess it needs to be an algorithm to turn that algorithm on specifically to have that bot
an
do what it
algorithm
needs
for
to
the
do.
algorithm.
Yeah, I guess like a bot for a bot or algorithm for the bot or whatever. Like I guess that's what it is. I don't know how their back system works, but they've got something now. Twitch actually has it themselves. You don't need any other bots to
So
do
from the
things for you.
fucking start. But
They kind of had it. Well, they had it more controlled up to you because you had to put in key phrases and stuff, which most people just
yeah, that
went,
was
okay.
the annoying part because I've got key phrases which they can get around by wording.
It's like, well, if you're
They can just put an extra letter or something. So it comes through.
it just looks funny when they try and do that.
Yeah, you fucking edgy 12y.
That's exactly it. They're all 12s. So yeah, it was kind of interesting. So yeah, so there's that going on. So they've organised that and tidying that up. But so yeah, lawsuits might go ahead and all that nonsense. Something that we haven't covered for a while, like I don't think.
What's that?
Which is the Apple versus Epic.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So yeah, so there's been a breakthrough on that now because Epic has also stated that they've been asking Apple now, are they going to reinstate their their main app Epic service being reinstated, because I guess they've gone through and resolved the situation and they've already come and gone, hey Apple, are you going to reinstate us now back on your system?
It's all done. It's just
but what has happened though is they've now basically won for themselves and other people now to allow users that use those platforms as when they're using a currency system. Like the whole issue was Epic in Fortnite using their own currency system to make a lower fee price. They've now stated, like the judges have gone through and gone, any user on their platform can either divert from their page to a different page for currency or use Apple system still, but the user themselves that's running the program can either charge more or less. It's up to it's up to the user. That's what Epic was trying to do. We're trying to do basically was because they didn't want to pay those extra fees to Apple. So basically, it's gone through and it's passed a new law that Apple can't be asking these extra fees. They need to allow these apps, these developers to choose themselves if they want to do that or not. They need to have the freedom to be like, yes, we can or not.
Isn't that what Sony and Microsoft do in Steam? Like the developers put the prices of
what they want to do, and if they want to give money
to
to
the company, just say Microsoft do it, and then like PlayStation put the prices. Like that's how Apple should be. Like,
well, it gives the choice if the app wants to give revenue to say for example Microsoft or whoever or Apple, if they go, okay, thank you for us using our service, we'll give you an extra cut of 5%, something like
many months ago. They've done it on consoles. Like they do use their own currency on the consoles.
Like
and then Apple's like, no.
Yeah, exactly, because they dropped the pricing for the V-Bucks. The V-Bucks will be able to be sold cheaper, and everyone else was fine with it on consoles and stuff like that. They
and even Android, right? They were like Google was fine with it.
Google was a bit iffy here and there, but they've basically
but Apple just.
But yeah, Apple's just being very stubborn about it, put the foot down because they would.
That's
exactly it. They're just like, we want our money either way. We want extra money. But what's come out of it is, like I said, it's not just for Epic. It's been a big win because apparently, for apps such as AppLovin, Zynga, Playtika, and Roblox, their shares have actually gone up in price because of this win. So, because I guess people are getting back on and spending money on buying currency at the currency level. So I guess, like Robux and stuff like that, like those currency programs that you spend money on, that's now dropped because they're charging an actual lower price that they see fit because they don't have to pay Apple these prices. All their shares are going up because people are spending money. So it's boosting these programs up. So yeah, all these. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So that's good. So there's something good that's come out of it. Apple now needs to suck it up, deal with it, and just allow.
They're not losing much. They're still making fucking millions from them.
Yeah.
I reckon. Like,
and that's exactly
still,
it.
Like,
And that's exactly it. And that's what it's coming down to. It's giving these
you're just
developers...
hoarding all this cash. Like, fuck.
Like, why you be like,
You wanna-
you're already paying. It's like, oh, you're giving us this money to have you on our service, and then you're giving this much every purchase someone makes a purchase. You're giving us this money of cut. It's just like, really? Like, what
It
do they have to
wouldn't
give you a
even
cut for?
make. It wouldn't even make a dent in the money they're making. Like
Like,
the
they're already
actual.
having the app in the store like every month or whatever agreement they sign, whether it's month or year.
It'd probably be 6 or 12 months, I
That's
reckon.
exactly it. They're already paying for that, so that's more than enough. And then whatever else they get.
If it was Epic, it'd probably be 12 months because it'd be a lot cheaper than going month by month.
So yeah, so it's interesting, but that's the thing that's happened. So there's a win out of that.
Crazy.
Oh,
The gamers win. Well, Epic and the gamers win.
yes.
As it should be. Don't let the big companies just troll the little guy.
Exactly, the monopolies. Something cool that was added recently to Fortnite as well. I don't know if you saw it. It was a skin added. If you remember the Unreal 5 demo that was revealed. If you remember that little Unreal 5,
That lady.
yeah, her character model. They made a rendition of her and put it into Fortnite, so which is pretty cool. So I ended up getting that myself because it was a pretty cool skin. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So at least we can
do they
say
need to do that.
Well, it's just like they own the character, so I'm like, eh.
Yeah, but not everything's got to be in fucking Fortnite.
Well,
They'll
I mean-
have every person in the next generation. That's a dude from Fortnite. That's a chick from Fortnite.
Pretty much.
Fuck off.
But I mean, it was kind of cool to see because I mean, you got to think about it. This was a character that was designed to be unveiled to help unveil the Unreal Engine. So technically,
I still remember the Borderlands.
yeah.
You think for Fortnite? Fuck off.
But like, it's the saga from Fortnite. But yeah, like I feel like it's kind of good to still reuse that character identity, like not just make it forgotten, because she was just a character
I
for
think
that
they're
demo.
bringing a game though. I think they're making a game with it.
Don't think they are. It was just a promo reveal character. It was just to help push the promotion. So
I'm pretty sure 'cause they're making levels with it. So I mean,
yeah, it was just all part of the demo, just to show off the demo. That's all it was for. It's not an actual game or anything coming from it.
we'll see.
So that's why they
We'll
chucked
see.
it into Fortnite, because they want to use that character. I got it either way because I was like, hey, it's the Unreal 5 character. I'll get that character. It's that character from Unreal 5.
I forgot about that, to be honest.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool skin. It kind of reminds me of Tomb Raider a little bit.
I just can't wait for the Unreal Engine 5 to be used in an actual game and be released.
It's gonna look pretty good. But yeah, no, that was pretty cool.
I swear Spider-Man was using that because fuck that. Look, I can't wait. Nah, it's not Unreal Engine 4.
There's another interesting.
It could be on 5 actually because it comes out 2023. So it could be.
Could be.
Could be. Because people are using it now to make games, so
Who knows?
we can even download it right now and make our own game with it.
You can. What the fuck, the tea's sipping up my.
I'll make the best game ever.
Yeah, you have fun with that. I'll try eventually.
Hey, it looks like an easy compared to the other one.
Yeah, when I logged in that time, I'm like, oh, this looks like an easy box schematic to key up, scroll out. Remember I told you that when I looked at the box? Oh, this is a simple 3 or 4 box wire connection, scroll out 20
Yeah.
boxes later. And I was like,
Yeah, but that was an old thing though, and this is like apparently
it's
this one's a
still
lot
the same
easier.
thing. It's still the exact same system. But I think other stuff is easier, so some stuff is just like, I'll have a look at it, try again, because I'm like, it looks cool, but it's crazy some of the stuff you can do. It's insane.
You can customize in real time while playing the damn game.
Well,
Like,
you do
that's
need
fucking
like a
dope.
decent processor as well to be able to like hold it. If you got a decent one,
Got
a
it.
good one.
Oh yeah.
And going from shares climbing with those few developers to now stocks falling, if you haven't heard as well,
God.
Tencent has
Not
taken a
so.
hit.
Why?
So you know how there's the old Chinese strict regulations on gaming?
Oh, the 1 hour a day.
Yeah, so Tencent is taking so Tencent's NetEase
That
stocks.
is not going to pass. That's just for 1 hour a day. Like
It's China,
Jesus.
dude. It's China. Anything can fucking happen. But no, it's falling in stocks because they end up losing 8 partners of value. So apparently Tencent must be the ones that have their hands in with everything. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
They're
but
agreeing
still,
with
they'll-
it, but they've lost 8 partners of value apparently. The article
probably
headline I saw
fuck
said
all.
8 Bethesdas, but I'm like, well, that's just partners of value. That's all it means. Big companies, so they've lost.
They're still fine. Like
So-
they've got hands everywhere in the fucking world.
Oh,
It's crazy.
That's the thing. These are the 8 big main ones that apparently have their hands in things. They've backed out from Tencent. and they've lost like I can't remember how much they've lost. They've lost a massive amount
You
of shares.
just wait. They're gonna be fine. Then they're gonna lose out on the fucking shit. Like that's
They
stupid.
lost what was it? 10 cent. I have to find
Yeah,
it.
but it's gonna bite them in the backside. Like they're gonna leave, and then Tencent's gonna go back up, and then be like, "Oh, we've been greedy. We didn't want to lose anything, and now they've skyrocketed again." Like, it happens, Des. It happens to everyone.
It lost $60 billion.
Oh, that probably changed to them.
Yeah, $60 billion. Apparently, that's the biggest. That was
Yeah, but is that dollars in our dollars, or is that like
US dollars.
is it yen?
But that converted into US dollars. I think the article read about. It's a fair bit. Because apparently you can buy a share for nearly 500 Hong Kong dollars.
Hong Kong dollars. Where the fuck are they? Hey, Des. Let's go buy a couple shares.
$500 in Hong Kong dollars, yeah. HKD.
Hong Kong dollars.
Hong Kong dollars?
Hong Kong dollar.
Yeah.
Hong...
But yeah, no, so
should
it is
it
pretty
should be called
interesting.
the Kong dollar.
Kong dollar. They got Kong, and then you've got Japan over there with their Godzilla dollar.
Say that 10 times quick. Fuck's sake.
God. Dragon Dick dollar!
Fucking dick doll. Nope.
The GDD.
But yeah, they'll bounce back and they'll be like, "Oh, we left," and then they're gone. Idiots.
So yeah, so it's pretty crazy that's going on.
Yeah, but everyone's pissed about that 1 hour thing. So I mean, I don't reckon they'll really get through.
It doesn't matter. Like the Chinese government. Have you seen what the Chinese government's like? Do you remember when the whole thing in Wuhan, when the friggin' COVID first came out? See what they did there? Where they were nailing people in their homes. They're just like, nah, you ain't coming out. They started boarding up people in their homes. It's like
that just makes sense. So we should have done that here.
Like that's what I mean. But like, but that's what I mean. Though. Like it's just crazy. Like they just do whatever the fuck they want. They're not gonna stop. Like it's not gonna stop them. They're gonna do it either way.
Yeah, but it depends. It will actually work though.
But for him to suffer, let's say for him to suffer, that's why these partners that are external big partners are just backing out. It's like, well, if you're gonna do that, we're not gonna have anything to do with you. So
stay there. Nothing's happened yet, so
no. Apparently, it is already starting to happen. They're putting more laws in. They're adding more to it. So,
stupid.
It's not just something that's happening. Like it's already starting to happen. I think. And a bigger thing. This is coming back
I would have
around.
tried that years ago. It didn't fucking work.
Oh. I don't know if you saw this one. This is coming back around before we lead into the Sony event and all the stuff we can talk about that. It's a bit of a sad news, but the former Santa Monica developer who helped engineer the Leviathan axe and all that, the weapon.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he did more. He did not just the axe mechanics. Like he helped develop the axe mechanics.
He did the combat, didn't he?
Yeah, he did a lot of the weapon mechanics. He's one of the key compositors of the like development of the engine. Like he worked with a team, but he was one of the lead like engineers that helped.
Pretty much the boss of the...
Yeah, and he helped create the idea of mechanics and stuff like that. He managed to develop the axe mechanics, like how it all worked and did everything, and like a lot of the weapon and general combat of the game. Yeah, I guess so. Like he did, so he did most of the stuff for the new God of War. So, but yeah, he passed away. So that's unfortunate.
That's random. I saw that on
But he actually quite old. He
Instagram.
was in his like 40s, I think, wasn't he? I think he was in his 40s. Looked like.
No, but
early 50s. He looked quite old.
Out of nowhere.
Well, he hadn't worked. He'd lost. He either he quit or he lost his job for a little while. I can't remember. But he left. I think he left his job like 6 months ago. So I think it might have been he left his job 6 months ago. But it could have been mental health related. I'm not too sure with everything going on with COVID. He left his job because there was no explanations for what it was.
And then got sad and.
Could have been, and just a reminder as always, if you as we have the other day, we have Are You OK Day, as always. You know, if you're ever feeling a bit off, reach out if you need to people. Reach out to us. We all go through it.
Someone else that passed. It was in the Wire or the Shield or something. Fucking
someone else. But yeah, there's been a lot of which possible. That guy that something Williams.
Big scar down his face.
Yeah. He passed of an overdose. Yeah.
Mm.
He was taking some medication. I don't know if it was general medication or something, but he overdosed on something. So I think he was struggling with stuff too. I think possibly.
I remember his name though.
It's something Williams or Williams something. I can't remember now. I did see that the other day too. I was shocked when I opened up and I saw it. I was like, oh damn, he was a cool actor. He's a very unique personality he had, but yeah, he passed of an overdose, unfortunately. And still, we are going through hard times still, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, I mean,
for the next foreseeable future, really.
it's just one of those things. You just deal with it. I don't know. I'm just at this point where it's like, yeah, you have dark days and it's hard, but just keep going through it and just be like, let's see it to the end. See it till the end.
Exactly.
Just ride it out. See it to the end.
Write it out.
Ride or die. I'm sorry.
Oh God. Well, I'll make a joke to that, but I better not.
When I see you again. Oh,
Jesus. But no, condolences to their families.
no, definitely though. Like,
Holy shit.
it is one of those things, and it is hard. And like I said, if any of those things, like I was making a few jokes online because it is the reality of things. People are struggling, not just mentally. Like things can factor that, whether it's your health, your mental state, the situation you're in, where you're struggling because people are out of work. All kinds of stuff. Like I made that joke.
Out of work, you can't get it if you've been fired for no fucking reason.
That's what I mean, like,
because you haven't got the jab because they're doing a thing.
Then people should
Well,
have a
you've
choice.
got to get the jab to get a job, which
like it's wrong.
have it.
People should have a choice still if they want the jab or not, because like it's still
No,
manageable.
the jab is handy though because it
but
does protect against the
people,
thing.
that's
So.
what I'm saying, but people should still have a choice. The same thing because it's like it's. I don't want to get too deep into it. It's a hard thing. It's like
But you remember when I said Corey Taylor had COVID?
yeah.
A week later, he's out doing shows and his voice is better than ever.
I told you he'll be fine.
Yeah, because he was vaccinated. That's the only reason.
Well, you don't even know if it's just because he's vaccinated. You can't say, yeah, ironically enough, he was vaccinated, but you don't know. He could have
Yeah,
been.
but it wasn't as severe because of that.
I mean, the way his health is, he could have been fine either way without the jab. Like, we don't know. Like, statistically, we don't know.
Yeah, but a week?
Each person's different as well. Like, that's why I'm very skeptical on that. Because I watched...
I'm getting my jab soon, so...
Yeah, you're getting your jab. I've been watching, like, a lot of stuff. There was, like, some stuff I've been watching online as well.
My doctor said, get it, so I do believe him.
For your general
yes.
health? For your general health? Yeah.
And other people as well.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, that's the thing, too. Like, I'm very on the fence with the whole thing. I'm not stopping anyone else from getting their jab. I'm not saying, hey, don't get them.
It's just
I'm
a
not
big flu shot. That's all it is.
That's what I mean. I'm just... the way it is trying to manage most medicines I take currently...
Well, if I'm not here for an episode, that's probably why.
he's resting up. But,
No, probably you're dead. Who knows?
Oh, God. Right on there! Right on there!
I'm not riding anywhere.
You're going to have dying instead? Oh, God.
We'll soon find out.
When I see you again. When I see you again.
Jesus.
Nah.
But fine, Jesus.
But no, it was just interesting. Some stuff I've seen on the internet again. Like I was looking on TikTok, someone had some, like someone was filming someone at one of those, it's weird, some of the stuff, like some of the stuff that people have been going with the jabs, they've been getting jabs in their asses, because most people get the jabs in their arm. There's one dude went to go get a jab, and she's like, drop your pants, and his friend was filming him, and he got like the shot in his ass. And he's like, what? I know, it goes there, but it's like, wait, is this for, because he was like, because he's expecting most people to get in his arm, and she's like, no, bend over, pull your pants down. He's like, wait, what? And he gets jabbed in the ass, he's like, oh, okay then. Like the weird place.
Nice and tender.
Oh, but like,
I couldn't imagine getting jabbed in. Jesus.
But like, there's been weird stuff. There was like this old bloke that got the jab, and it was like filled with nothing. And then there was another time she had doing it because the daughter complained about it. But then the needles were different. Like, it was fucking weird. There was one with this, but this funniest one I saw, which was like, it's like, it still questions me though why people are faking to get the jab though and getting certificates to say they've got the jab, but like faking it. It's fucking weird because apparently there's a lot going on.
Jabbed, but then they're doing it fake for an audience. I don't
know, because there's this dude at this one place, and it's on TikTok. I liked it. It's been going around. But this person's like there's an area where the typical place where you go to and there's people like got cubes up because they're doing like public vaccinations where you go to like a hall or something and they're doing and everyone's in separate cubicles. There must have been a high point. Someone's filming this nurse giving this dude a jab. You see him roll down and his friends there filming him as well. And you see him rolling down his sleeve to get the jab. And you see the person with the needle. They pull their sleeve down. He's sitting there ready to get it, and he's looking at the camera like he put a beanie on or whatever. I don't know what the fuck. That's mindless details.
It's all fucking set
but
up.
like he
then,
gets
really.
there and he goes to like you see him go to put the needle in, and you see it go behind the shoulder, and then you see him just squirt off into the background. It's just like, what the hell? Like they don't even jab it into his arm. Like he does the whole fake jab, and then it's like, why even go for the fake jab? Like why?
Because a real nurse wouldn't do that.
That's what I mean. It's just like, man, that's why someone was filming it from above, like out of the way. No one knew that they were filming them, and it's just like, why are people fake getting jabs?
Because that's just breaking the law. If you do that, you can get fucking sued for that shit.
That's what I mean. That's why the people have been sharing this footage around. And it just seemed weird because it was up out of the way. Like, it was up out of the way. And, like, they had zoomed in. Like, that was the thing, too. They're up in the spot. They've zoomed in.
Someone ran watching it from somewhere.
That's why they were filming it.
It's all set up.
That's why it was weird that they would waste. But that's, like, a vaccine that they've wasted, though, apparently. Like, it looked weird. Like, why would you waste a vaccine?
Full of water or something. Who knows?
So, but it was kind of funny because a lot of comments, though, were going, like, oh, he's not vaccinated, but at least his shirt is. It's like, at least his shirt can't get COVID. So there was some funny stuff, but it was just so weird. It's just sus though that people are willingly, like nurses and stuff, are willingly apparently, and it's quite common because there's even people apparently paying anywhere from $250, $2,500 to $5,000 to fake get the vaccination, to get to not get jabbed,
what's the point of that?
Write off on the certificate saying that they've got it.
Well, then if you get COVID and get fucked up, that's your own fault.
So that's why I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is going on? It's weird. Like, shouldn't people that are nurses be like, no, you're getting the jab? Like, not being like, oh, I'll take a...
They're probably just fake. They're probably all just people in the coach get a fake needle. Who fucking knows?
Or they're just like, oh, okay, I'll happily fake your vaccination for $5,000. Like, is that what's going on? Like,
people do that.
Like, I'll happily just write it off. But then if someone comes back to you, you get in trouble, even though you may have been paid off $5,000 from each person. If they come back to you, you're going to get in shit. Like,
yeah, who are they going to call it back to there?
But they'll register back to the nurse who was supposed to give the shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you keep track of that when there's like thousands of people there.
Well, when they get the certificate, it's written off by the nurse. They write down the date when you because there's a certificate you get and it tells you when you get your first shot.
And then your second shot. Yeah.
And then that's your certificate. You can show people if people go, oh, can I show you proof of vaccination? You go, here's my certificate, and it shows people. Like people got to carry that around too now. Apparently,
is it real that they got then?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird. It's just like, do they just write off? It's been like fake getting the shots, paying people off, and then they just sign off on the sheet. I
don't think nurses doing that though. That's fucking.
No, apparently there are though. That's the weird part. It's actually things that are happening.
Queensland, crazy motherfuckers.
It's big in the US though.
Oh, that's.
But it's all over the place. But apparently it's happening all over the place. So.
I like taking jabs in America. It's good fun.
It's funny. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm on either side with these things because it's funny that it's happening, and it's like It's like my inquisitive side of things is like, what's going on? Like, is this serious? Is this actually happening, or is it fake? Like, what's going on? America, is vaccination real, or is it not? Like,
people like Trump. That says it all.
Like, it just gets me with all these things, and they keep going along how bad. I don't know. I'm not going to go into it. I've gone into it many times.
Yeah. We've had it all before, really.
What was the other thing I was going to bring up, which was funny?
Which is funny.
Related to it. My mind's blank because I got myself trapped.
No idea.
I can't remember how else it goes. Yeah, no, it's just weird. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
But yeah, we've had a few more cases keep coming through with all these truckies coming through as well, so that's always fun. There's something else was going to be. It was something funny related to one of the things I saw. It was another joke, basically. Oh, that's right. That's what it was. It was I was watching Ben Shapiro, and they were talking about like he's Ben Shapiro. He's all over the internet. Alb's back my headset off.
I have no idea who the fuck that is.
Anyway, he was he talks about this article that happened with MS and they like a news in the US, and they're interviewing with this doctor, which I don't know. It must be a thing in the US where doctors wear shirts that state that they're a doctor. I don't know why they have their shirts with printed doctor on their shirts. Do you reckon that's a legit thing, or these people are paid actors? Like,
I reckon they're paid actors. A doctor is.
Because it was kind of funny.
I've been around a lot of doctors.
That's what I mean.
None of them wear a doctor shirt.
That's what I mean. I don't know if it's a thing in the US, just so people stand it that they know they're a doctor and a nurse, but it was kind of funny.
Then you just wear a badge with your name and doctor. You don't just put doctor on your fucking shirt.
What it was, there was it was still fairly recent, but it was a couple of weeks back, I think it was. But I was
I see,
watching the
doctors
video
don't
anyway.
doctors wear casual clothes, really.
That's what I mean. They wear like that's what I mean. It was very. This video's. I'll
My
explain it.
doctor's in a fucking sweater, so
I'll explain it, and you'll start finding this very sus. I might even try and see if I can find that clip again and cut it out and put it into the video. But it's very sus because it has the reporter interviewing this lady that looks very well, not like a doctor, and looks like someone that would be an actor. She's wearing a dark gown which has like the I don't know, jumpsuit looking thing, and has doctor embroidered on the thing. And you see everyone in the background because they're apparently having a strike. They're having a strike, against people not getting the jab or something like that. I don't know what it was. It was just one of those things. But everyone's standing out, and all the other doctors, all these other people in the background with white coats on. They're wearing casual clothes, and everyone's wearing a white coat. All these doctors are having stand out, and they're all wearing white coats over there, whatever else they're wearing. They all got their long pants on. They're all standing in straight lines in the background, and as soon as they cut, like you can see, because there's like a small second delay. So the interview, it cuts to the thing. The interviewer's talking to this lady. There's a small delay. They're all standing in lines, and then you see this lady turn around and go, "All right, do this thing," and then they all start turning around and conversing with the other. They're all standing in lines. You gotta think about it. They're all standing in lines, and next week they all start conversing and interacting with everyone. Like, "Oh, this is all the thing." But it's like, why are you organized in rows and lines like you're students in a line all rode up, and then next week you're gonna converse with everyone? Why aren't you already conversing? Like, why couldn't you already be in conversation and converse? Why do you have to be in nice row lines and then have someone go, "Okay, now mingle with each other"? Like,
that's all definitely set
it
up.
was very sus. And then you see where everyone's talking. You see this one guy walk in the front, and you see this one guy like have his mask down. He's like, and you see him put his mask back up, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
And the cop, they just like,
Yeah. You can just see him in the background because you see a guy walk in front of him, and he has you see him like he has his mask up. A guy walks past him, his mask's down, and then he puts his mask back up, and I was like, what is he doing? Like, it's so sus. Like, I was just like, this looks so fake because everyone's like not conversing, no one's talking at all, and then it's just like, okay, and everyone interact with each other, and next minute everyone's all starts talking to each other.
definitely set up.
I was like, that's such a setup for the video. I'm like, this is so sus and like all coordinated, and it's just like,
How do you find all these stupid things? Like, that's I see none of
dude,
these.
I have all these weird things coming to me and all this weird conspiracy shit, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. It's
all bullshit,
it's
bro.
all this crazy shit. And that's fine, but there's so many people faking stuff, and it's like government's faking stuff. All these nurses they're interviewing and doctors, like they're all faking stuff. Why do they need to make all these things up? Like, why can't they just actually interview people, actually do proper stuff, not fake things? Like you see all these jabs, like these government officials are getting a fake jabs. Like, why can't they actually show them getting the jab? Why do they need? Why even show them getting a jab? Like, even if they're gonna show, like, why fake it? Like, what's being the whole thing? Like, oh look, this person's getting the jab. Like, we're getting Gladdy getting the jab. It's like, do we?
I'll
Need to
Google
see
it
that?
right now. I'll Google that exact question you just asked.
Which one's that?
Why are people faking?
Yeah, see, funny, yeah, because I've seen like that massive sprawl of like our government officials and US government officials and other people faking
Yeah,
getting
some
shots.
people really are faking their COVID vaccine. Well, no shit.
Like, and yeah, you see them sitting there and the interviews like lined up, and you see them fake getting jabbed. The needle's not even going in their arms. Some of them have like the cap still on them. It's just like, what the fuck are they doing this? Like, if you're gonna fake it, why even do it? Like, why waste energy to publicly be like, oh, I'm getting the jab, and then not actually do it? Like, I can understand if you're Joe Blow, Bob Saget, or not Bob Saget, but any kind of normal person, like, because it's like a trend thing. But like, why are government officials faking it? Like, why do they need to fake them getting things? Like, it's either they're getting it or not. Like,
Okay, so that's a growing thing. Fake COVID vaccine and test certificate market is growing.
yeah.
You can do it for as little as $25.
Yeah, depending on where you go and who's doing it, but it's a big thing. So people are just marking off people getting jabs.
That's in the UK and everywhere.
Yeah, it's happening everywhere. It's like you're either gonna get it or not. But if they're gonna start, pressuring and forcing people to get the shots, like you're still wearing a mask.
People. It's your own. Like, I've been forced to get it.
Well, some people just think though too. Some people are still thinking of getting it. Like, oh, I got it. I don't need to wear a mask. Like, no, you still need to wear a mask. Like, we're not
Still
getting
do
masks.
for other people.
Like, that's the thing. That's the biggest thing though. We're still wearing masks. We're not avoiding masks.
I had to wear a mask for the first time.
We had a guy.
You saw the little tiny fucking.
Doesn't fit over your face probably. Actually,
My beard is hanging out.
it was so good. There was a guy from work who apparently, if you I don't know if you heard about our cases up here, If you follow the news for us up here, but there was a
I
school
don't watch
student.
the news because news is full of
Oh,
bullshit.
that's why it's funny as. That's why I laugh. There was one of the school students at a school got it, and so there's this. I know someone recently, the last couple of days, a student was found infectious with all. They say infectious. They had COVID, but one of the guys at our work goes to that school, and he's now in 14-day quarantine. I was like, and he worked he worked the day before my shift. I'm like, well, if he's gotten it and he had I don't know, is he like, how long does it take to incubate? Like, did he incubate does he have it straight away? Like, is he safe for like a couple of days after? Like, I was like, wow, like he's there
straight away. I think
because that's what gets me with people. Like, people worry about these things.
Did you see how fast a cold gets to you? Like, you can be sick just the next morning.
That's what I mean, and that's what gets me. It's like people made the whole thing that happened around the road with the marketplace that happened with there. They were worried about the morning staff having it, but they don't think, oh, okay, this person was there infectious in the morning. They were infectious. They wanted the staff to get quarantined, get tested and quarantined if they needed to for the morning
You
staff.
have to quarantine everyone that's in contact
But
with
that's
them.
what gets me. But they weren't worried about the afternoon staff, so they weren't worried, even though the person had come through in the morning, say at 8, 9, whatever time it was, possibly interacted with staff that was there, gone home.
Plus, what they've touched, what they've breathed on, and you've touched.
But then you think about, okay, so they weren't worried about the afternoon stuff yet. People, when they work, they have the morning shift, and they work from morning to afternoon when afternoon staff start. Wouldn't you think there's a crossover period and you would worry about them as well? No, don't have to worry about the afternoon stuff because it's only the morning stuff that had interactions. So then what's the transfer rate? What's the continuity? Is it transferred quarantine or is it not? Like, what is is it contagious or not? If it's that contagious, that means everyone that's worked that day should be tested and then they're ergo quarantine. Not just go, oh, it was only in the morning, worry about the morning.
Go get tested, bro.
That was like the situation that I went through with the person at work.
Get that jab up the nose.
I've had that. It's uncomfortable. But that's like with me. There was a person at work.
Get it again.
That apparently was a close contact with another person. Like their family member had interactions with. They were at a location at the same shop at the exact same time. Someone that apparently was infectious. They were there at the exact same time at a certain shop. So they were worried that there would be a close contact. And then it's like, well, are they worried or not? Because then they might have been close contact. And then they lived with their family member, which then worked with us. And it's like, well, then I've been interacted with this person. But it's like, oh, no, it's nothing. It's just like, but how are you supposed to know? Like, how do you know? And it takes time to... It can take up to 14 days to develop. Like, how are you going to know? How are you going to say, oh, nah, it's not a problem? Yet, you were there the exact same time, even may have bumped shoulders with that person, and you're going to be like, oh, you might have had it. You might have been close contact.
Fucking spreads.
Like, you're either going to say, yeah, be dangerous and lock everyone up, or say, hey, you're best going home and rest, or not. Like, there's no clarity, should I say. There's no clarity, and that's what contradicts it. It's like, it is or it's not. Like, is it infectious or is it not infectious? You can't be like, oh, on this occasion it was infectious, oh, maybe this time it's not. Like, it either is or it isn't. Like, it's not both. It can't be both. If a person's got
it's a cold. Of course, it's fucking infectious.
That's what I mean.
Like,
If a person's been through there, the whole place should be like, no, the whole day, like, whoever's on should be checked. Not just, oh, only one half because they're more likely. Like, no. If it's infectious,
they've touched a lot of shit in that thing in a fucking shift.
That's why I get very questionable. Is it that infectious they're making it out to be? Because if it is, why are they testing everyone? Why are they only testing half the people? You know, when these things happen when they work.
Resources, I guess, saving time.
It's just kind of funny, but I just think it's funny that that's ended up happening, and it's just like, my God, wear a mask, sanitize.
That's why.
I know it's just
it's hard to wear a mask.
Exactly it. I wear a mask and I sanitize up. Keep myself sanitized, wiped, clean.
I don't do that part, but
sanitize wipe my hands, wipe stuff, wipe my hands when I touch things. I don't know.
That's why I don't touch things. I use my.
I feel like it's going to the point you're either going to get it or you're not. It's going to be one of those things. You either get it or you don't. Whether you're vaccinated or whether you're not vaccinated, you either get it or you don't.
Everyone's going to get it at some point.
It's going to be that way. That's what I keep telling my dad. He's looking to get the jab. I'm like, don't get the Astra. Get your Pfizer, man. They're apparently recommending you the Astra. I'm like, dude, you got fucking eye problems. You ain't getting fucking Astra.
You have a choice in it.
No, it's so dumb. But I'm like, I don't know.
So you're not getting the jab until you get the Pfizer.
I'm waiting. Because there's too many people trying to rush and get this. I'm just like, if I'm going to get it, I'll wait a little bit. And then
I'll just go down the road to get mine.
But I apparently opened up a hub.
Yeah, down there. No, up there. I don't know what the fuck it is.
But they keep saying though, they keep going, oh, we've got enough for everyone, but then everyone has to try and book in and try and get it, and it's a long wait. It's like they either do or they don't.
There's not many people there.
But anyway, we're gonna get away from that. We keep talking about it. It keeps fucking happening. I keep trying. I get angry at myself for talking about it. I'm fucking done with it. I just want.
We need a COVID-less episode.
Oh, it's always some way something referenced COVID somewhere along the line. It's like fuck off. We get trapped in it. I get trapped in it. Like I don't want to fucking talk about it, but I do because it's pissing me off. I think it's more of the fact I'm just done with it. I'm just over it.
Yeah, but we would never be done with it because it's here forever, bruh.
But yes, like you were telling me about that, we'll start heading into the main event now. I just realised the time. Jesus Christ, hour and a half into this fucking podcast. Let's make it for another hour. Who knows? It doesn't really matter too much.
I've got a bit of a trouble with that fucking showcase.
We got the showcase, but we'll start off before we get into the showcase. We'll talk about that lovely guy. Was it on YouTube? Was it on YouTube or was it the Facebook? Was it on the comment? The guy that was ranting about.
What does it say? Let me just read what it said.
Yeah, you got it there. You sent it to me with the guy ranting about something.
Yeah, let's just say.
It's freaking hilarious.
I'll read the actual tweet, what it was.
It was from Twitter, yeah.
The tweet was, from Insomniac themselves, where we are ecstatic to announce Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Marvel's Wolverine are coming exclusively to PlayStation 5. Stay tuned for more information. Someone goes, they spelled Insomniac with an L instead of an I.
Lasomniac.
Lasomniac, why is it PS4 exclusive? Sony doesn't own Wolverine. Stop being scared and release it on console.
It is on console for one.
I'm gonna say it is on console, not the console you stated.
But the thing, I mean, I can understand because didn't Insomniac make only one game for Xbox, wasn't it? They did
Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive, which makes sense. They tried doing that on Xbox. It didn't really work where they thought it was going to work.
Sony own Insomniac now.
That's exactly it. That's the biggest thing. So of course they're going to be. So I think the problem is okay. We still got some people that are making under one belt, making games for other consoles. But the thing is, when Insomniac are working with Sony with those engines, look what they can do. Look what you get. Like, okay, we saw them work with that on Xbox with that one engine, but like, it was good. But that's what I mean. Like those games working with proper like. People keep going, oh, you know, the whole war between Xbox and PlayStation. Got 7 likes on it somehow. Yeah, people are dumb like that. But like, not everything has to be. That's what I mean. There's exclusives. People keep going like there's the whole. There's plenty of games that are coming out exclusives because all for PlayStation. But it's like it's good. It's good to have exclusives. You want exclusives. Let me get that tweet up right now because I know it's on their page. Still there. I'll see you this. That's what he was saying back to some. Oh yeah, he's saying some stuff to people. Yeah, so. That's what I mean, like, there's a lot of that going on, because we've had other announcements, because it's all from the PlayStation event. Of course, all these games are going to be PlayStation exclusives. But it's like, you're going to have that. And some of the games that you can develop being, when they're specifically for PlayStation, which we've seen, when they're on one platform, they develop better, I feel, when they're working for one system, instead of trying to make multi-platform games.
Sunset Overdrive was good, and that was just one
It was made just for Xbox, but now they're going to try and make it for... But then they're doing the second one for PlayStation, which is going to feel and look different.
Being owned, because they actually own the game. They own Sunset Overdrive.
But like, even if they wanted to, like, Sony could be like, oh, to make more money, they could be like, oh, we could have this game on all platforms, but like... They don't want... They're not... And it shows you the difference. They're not worried about the money. They just want to... They're just wanting to entertain people. If they were worried about money, like Microsoft gets sometimes, they have games that are on multiple platforms. But if they're not worried about money... This is
what someone said straight afterwards to him. L comment, get a PS5. And then he goes, no Xbox, PS5 only got good exclusives, and because of Spider-Man and Wolverine, plus you'll be done in a couple of days if you actually play.
Wait, him?
That's what he said.
Wait, what? Is he pro PlayStation or is he pro... Like, I'm confused by that.
I don't know. He said no Xbox, PS5 only got good exclusives, and because...
Is that like he's pro... Is he pro PlayStation then?
And then someone goes... Either Sony doesn't own Spider-Man game rights either. Talk about who's willing to pay more to Marvel. Sony owns Spider-Man. Why do you think they created the Sony Spider-Verse?
Exactly. Sony owns Spider-Man. What are they talking about?
Only the game. No, only the movie rights.
No, they do have some game rights as well.
Yeah, but not everything. Other people can make them.
Yeah. But that's why there was that big...
do it as good as Insomniac. Like,
oh
Jesus.
There was issue to that. That's why with those that that's why specifically we had that Spider-Man. What was it, 2018 game?
Yeah.
That's reason. That's why we had that because of like was it 2018?
Yeah, that was Spider-Man.
Yeah. That's why that came out, is because there was reason to that because of the whole Sony deal thing. It has changed recently. other studios can use the licenses and stuff. That's why no, it's not. No, it's not. Backtrack that. No, it is only Sony. No, my bad. No, it is only Sony still. Brand things. Because that's why it's only Sony got the character model for Avengers and not Xbox. Because licensing, no, Sony do own Spider-Man across the board. No, they do now. Before that's why we haven't seen any Spider-Man games on anything else.
No, it was Activision who had it before.
But no, I think they can to a point have, like Capcom versus Marvel and things like that. Spider-Man can still appear in those kind of likenesses, references, but other things, it's all PlayStation because there's talks.
It's his own game. He can be PlayStation.
In rumors to that, because there's been talks of the new season that's coming back for a fortnight for a second here. Because there's apparently leaks going on about the new season, so Chapter 2, Season 8, where there's apparently
not be in Fortnite.
Well, that's the thing. It's coming to. There's been leaks because there's Naruto apparently coming. Naruto's coming, and a few maybe Dragon Ball coming.
They're even use guns.
I know. Neither does Kratos, but look at that.
Yeah, that's just.
But there's rumors that
I'm gonna start saying I hate Fortnite soon.
To help promote the movie, the Tom Holland Spider-Man might be coming to Fortnite. So yeah, there's talks that might be happening because what some of the sources and people have been looking into, that might be a thing that might be happening. We might add to the Marvel pack.
Stupid.
And
really,
I'll say I'll bring it up again quickly. We get the few movie things out of the way before we get into the big event. Still, I forgot about it. The leaks still going around for Spider-Man, as we've talked about outside of this podcast. So there's been more. There's that 4K video leaked of Andrew Garfield in the Spidey suit. If you've seen that one lurking around, it's in 4K. Nice high crisp resolution of Andrew Garfield sitting there behind in front of a blue screen on that related to that raft. So there's a photo that went around where there was like a scaffolding set up and it was Andrew Garfield sitting down and there was Toby talking to him. The video's now leaked out from that where it's just from a different angle and it's just showing Andrew Garfield. That's been going around a fair bit and he's just sitting there talking and he does look a little bit older. A lot of it, it's hard to say nowadays because a lot of stuff is very well deep fake. It's not that hard to deep fake things these days. But it is interesting to see someone that's of that suit of Andrew Garfield with Andrew Garfield's head on scaffolding that looks very decent quality behind the scenes. So it's interesting that there's a lot of effort to deepfake it.
A few months.
And the fact there was apparently audio leak from the movie that someone's leaked record from set of Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield and apparently Tobey Maguire talking to each other. So there's a lot of that happening apparently going around as well. So there's talks of that. So possibly, we're getting more further and further to what's happening. I mean, we are getting close to the movie coming out. We're only getting by day, we're getting closer and closer.
3 months.
3 months, so December.
3 months.
So we won't know till then. We'll definitely find out what's going on then. And I'm keen. I'm just in general keen for that movie.
I'm just staying away from it because I just want to go to the movie fresh.
So I just want to get that.
Just see what it is.
I'll say, as I just remember before we go into the more of the Sony event as well. Matrix. I just want to mention that as well. Did you see the Matrix trailer?
I'm not impressed, but I saw it.
It's kind of like it's a sequel, but it feels like a reboot. It looks like a reboot of like the original because it's like the whole concept again. Looks like John Wick. Everyone's been saying that, but it's just like it's interesting.
It's got Morbius, but Morpheus, not Morbius. It's got Morpheus, but it's someone else playing him. It's like no.
Well, I don't think it's actually Morpheus. People saying it's Morpheus, but I don't think it is.
But it's explained in an old game why he looks different.
Yeah, because he died or something like that.
I don't know, but it looks exactly the same, but just a different person
or something. I don't know. Yeah, apparently one of the old games, the online games, is actually now canon. Apparently, it's not just a game; it's actually canon.
I didn't watch it because I don't really give a shit, but
it looks like it's going to be a good movie, a nice, decent, like action film. So
yeah, that's what it is. It's just John Wick in the Matrix verse.
I mean, the Matrix was kind of already like that. That's the funny part. It was already kind of that vibe. If you actually go back over and watch the Matrix.
Really? It was all hand-to-hand combat. This has got guns in it and...
Yeah, but if you remember that scene where he's like in the bank, he's running around, they're doing flips and shit across the walls, he's like... And like all the... Could at
least got him his buzz cut back or like the short hair again, like Jesus.
Yeah, so it is interesting, so it's going to be an interesting movie.
It's all in the real world now?
No, still in the Matrix. So basically what looks like has happened from the breakdown was... you know how at the end he kind of like... cleansed everything and then it kind of got rebooted at the end. It was like Matrix 2.0 basically. He kind of did everything, but then he's been, I guess, re-sucked back in. He didn't actually just die.
Because they had him and Trinity just like looking at like, do I know you? It's like, oh no, God.
He's been mind wiped, so it's like the start all over again.
She said that though. She's like,
Oh yeah.
So I mean, she's
Even
all been mind
even he was
wiped.
confused. So,
That was
yeah, it's
just,
interesting. So it's gonna be interesting to
she
see where the
hasn't,
story
she
arc
hasn't
goes.
changed though. Like Jesus.
No, she doesn't look like she's aged much, does she? She's looking really good. But in that little clip, if you saw it in the scene in that world, even though we see him as young Keanu Reeves, in that world, how everyone else perceives him, everyone else perceives him as an old man.
Yeah, that's weird. Like I was looking, I was like, what the fuck are they
So it's
doing in
interesting
there?
that to himself, he's perceived as to himself. I guess when he looks at the mirror, he sees himself as an old
It's
man.
him, but
Well, he mostly sees an
it's
old.
that
Maybe
weird.
he sees an old man. I don't know. It's weird.
Maybe he sees himself
As an old man, or he sees himself as.
maybe he sees himself because
It's weird, but it's kind of a big
everyone else
parallel.
must see him as him, but he must see himself as the old man.
It's another stab though. I was gonna say it's another stab though at the world we live in, with everything being digital and everyone being on their phones for sure. Because you see that scene where everyone's on their phones, and next you see him just jump off the roof. He's like, everyone's like, oh, they like pull their phones up, and they start filming it. But anyway, so that the trailer's dropped.
Dig too much into that because I was trying to watch the movie.
So the trailer's dropped for that. If you want to watch that, I thought I'd quickly plug that. That's now out. The Matrix 4 trailer, Matrix Resurrected. Looks like it's going to be like say it's a sequel, but it looks like a reboot, which kind of like what is kind of parallel to what.
Only got two people back from the other ones anyway, so it's like, what's the point of having them back?
That's exactly it. It's one of those.
Keanu Reeves makes sense, but not anyone else.
We'll find out. But that's why I guess it's like
I already know it's going to happen. So
it's going to be very. I think it's going to be one of those very.
Beardy and Neo are going to walk off into the sunset, and that's it. Like fuck.
It's going to be a very stereotypical trope. We'll mostly see the lady in the red dress skin as a metaphor reference. We'll see that stuff, I guess, because it feels like it's a big.
It's got that Morpheus. It's got that Morpheus and Neo fight again from the.
Well, they got
first
that,
one,
and then they got the whole take the red pill, blue pill thing. And then there's the whole re-walking through the mirror. You remember the whole mirror thing where it's just like, ooh. But it's very
I'm just gonna watch it again.
As well, it's very Alice in Wonderland inspired as well. Very influenced because
I mean, it's still directed by one of the who made the trilogy. So
the Wachowskis.
Well, they had a gender change. I was like, who the fuck's Lana?
They're still Wachowskis.
Yeah, but I didn't know one of them changed gender.
Oh, they all did.
Or they both did.
No, they all did. All three of them.
All three?
Yeah, they're all brothers, and then now they're all sisters.
Yeah, it's weird. I was like, who the fuck's Lana? I just Google. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. No, there was the three of them. There's all three of them, which it's kind of funny. There's three directors that worked on the movies.
Yeah, they were
They're trying to do that. Like you already had
the Wachowski brothers. Now they're the sisters. Like
the Kawasaki.
The Kawasaki's a motorbike.
Mike Kawasaki.
Mike Kawasaki.
But no, they're good movies. They're good movies. Yeah. But no, we'll come back now. We'll come back to the Sony event. We'll keep going on with that now. I just want to get that out of the way.
Let's give you two more of these replies he got.
Yep.
One from someone that goes, haha, they own the studio and have a deal with Marvel. Stop being a fanboy and just buy the two consoles. Microsoft does the same. And he's like, fanboy, cry face.
But I'm like, but with the other comment now, it sounds like he is a Sony fanboy in the sense, because he's like, because he said no Xbox, PlayStation 5. Like, what? I'm confused by that.
And then the next one goes, Insomniac is owned by Sony, so they can't release it on other consoles. He's like, shake my head, tough.
I'm confused. Is he for it or against it? I feel like he doesn't. What I'm feeling from this is he speaks very broken English, and I think he's interpreting those comments as they're trying to be like the comments are meant to be pro. I feel like this is the irony I'm getting here. The weird confusion.
But he was sad that it was only on
No. This is where I'm thinking he's coming out with the broken English. I feel like how he's trying to explain and talk himself that he's actually pro PlayStation and he's pro like these games being on PlayStation.
Why is he complaining and it's not on Xbox and what?
No, maybe he was making that. Maybe him in his thought and language that he was making fun of people on Xbox not being able to have it, and it came off as being he was insult. He's trying to be like oh, like, haha, like it's kind of be like, haha, it's on PlayStation, not on Xbox. Like he's trying to be like
Dude,
that, but
just
his English
fucking
broken.
stop. Just
Because
stop.
you look at the other people's comments, and it almost sounds like he's being like that. They're trying to be like, oh, why is it like to them? They're going, oh, why is it not on these things? And he's going, haha, it's on PlayStation. Like he's like going like tough. It's like why? It's like you say, he goes, ha, tough. It's just like it's some other sense that
Yeah, but it's
they
like
think
extremely tough. There's someone else comments. I didn't see this. It's like, dude, you need to know how to make a proper wording sentence.
That's what I mean.
And then he goes, here's the grammar police. Bro won't let me use SMH in a sentence. Must be a nerd. Also, that's not grammar.
I feel like this dude doesn't speak properly. Like he's off on a weird not speak properly. I feel like his English is just off on the whack. Because like I said, what was the other comment before? And he goes tough, haha, tough. What was the comment again?
Oh, this is one about, remember Xbox, Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Because they're getting that. It's like, they do own Insomniac though. Besides, Xbox has Bethesda and potentially Indiana Jones. And he's like, fuck Indiana Jones, gonna be Heat.
Yeah, see, fucking Indiana Jones. He's pro PlayStation. He's pro PlayStation. He doesn't give a fuck about Xbox. He's all pro PlayStation. He's all being all like, fuck you, Xbox, fuck you. That's what he's doing. That's what his statement is saying. He's like, fuck you.
This. I don't know, but maybe it's because Sony owns Insomniac. Calm down. I ain't even know that.
I feel like he's gotten confused. Actually, now listen to this
He's
guy.
getting roasted though in these comments.
Yeah, no.
Like,
I think he's actually
Yeah,
pro
but-
PlayStation, but it's come off as it's coming off sound like he's pro Xbox, but he's not because he's basically.
like, oh, go play some Bethesda games. I'm good.
Is that what he said? Or is that what they said?
I'm good.
Is he goes, I'm good.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I think he's actually pro PlayStation. I actually think he's pro PlayStation.
Yeah, but why is he complaining it's not on the...
No, I think I think he's saying the same and going, I think okay, let me interpret it from my perspective, him being him. Ha, yes, it's on PlayStation, fuck you, Xbox. Like, I think that's what he's basically getting at.
Sony doesn't own Wolverine. Stop being scared and release it on console.
I don't know, this dude sounds confusing. Because he sounds like everything else he's been saying, I feel like he's pro PlayStation.
Yeah, but why is it like Insomniac? Why is it PS4 exclusive? Like
PS5, isn't it?
Yeah, but he said PS4. Multiple times said PS4.
Does he? It's only on PS5, not even on PS4. Oh, you see, people are starting to get salty now because they're looking at Sony's looking at leaving that last gen behind now and actually starting to do like they're going to do originally. They'll remember how they were originally going to look at that. There was everything from like what were the last games they've done for PS4, like Sackboy and all that. That was meant to be PS5 only. Like things like that were meant to be PS5 and then ended up making PS5 ports and stuff like that.
The PS4 port, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were meant to be all PS4. Like they were going to be only PS5.
Well, Horizon meant to be PS5, which now it's on 4. God of War's on PS4. And I think Spider-Man 2, that's just PS5 and Wolverine's
PS5. That's the
PS5.
start.
So
Yeah. Which is interesting. Like they were like, okay, let's get games out for these consoles. But now they're actually going.
they
No,
could
we're
not
going
run on
PS5.
PS4, like fucking hell.
And now people are getting Sony. It's like, what do you expect? Of course, we're going to only start seeing PS5 exclusives. What do you think? They want to move
Like
forward.
Ratchet and Clank, that was PS5 only. And Insomniac are doing things that will not run.
Exactly.
They've got their plate full. Like they've made a lot of shit recently. Like,
It is funny. It is funny.
but I mean, we'll get the little games out of the way first from this thing.
Yes, there was a lot. That was
Like,
really...
we saw that weird Vampire Masquerade free to play.
The battle royale. It's a big battle
I think
royale.
it's battle royale. I think
No,
it's
it's a battle royale.
PvP.
Nope, it's battle royale. There's a lot of players. I was talking to people that are into the battle royale community games. So there's a few people
It's
that were
already
big
out on
on. Yeah, there's a lot of people that were big into Hyperscape, have now ditched Hyperscape and are now playing that because they're into that now. And
It looks more fun.
it's a growing. A lot of people are starting to get into it in the I think it's beta stage.
Well, it's fucking hand-to-hand combat. Like, it's way better than guns.
Yeah, but apparently it's a lot more like the battle royale kind of concept. So,
But yeah, I mean that comes out on PS5 later in the
it
year.
is very interesting because with Hyperscape. Oh, I'm coming through yours quite much now. Yeah, I'm coming through yours now. Why am I coming through yours? Are you getting too close?
I have no idea.
I'm getting the feedback on your end. Because Hyperscape has a mixture of like very battle royale, very TDMs as well. So I think it might be doing a bit of both as well. But no, it's interesting that it's like okay, because isn't that Masquerade supposed to be more than that? Like there's actual story to that or something, isn't there?
No, just
Wasn't there an
a
actual game coming to that?
PvP thing, I think.
Because I thought there was more. Unless I'm thinking of the
Oh,
other vampire game.
this is a free to play game.
Wasn't there another vampire game coming out?
Yeah, they got delayed and cancelled. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. I thought something to do with Masquerade as well. I don't know now.
Yeah, it was number 2.
Yeah, and they got this game instead.
Well, so far.
Interesting, but yeah, it's another battle royale from what I've heard. So I was like, yeah, we just need
Yeah,
something
it's a
better.
battle royale set in the Vampire Masquerade universe. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, do
I
we?
mean,
Need,
it could be fun.
do we need more battle royales?
Not really. But also, Deathloop in 3 days, bro.
Yeah, it's getting here.
I haven't even bought it yet. I've got to get on that.
Where the fuck did I put that? No, I'm thinking about that. I bought that the other day. I have no idea where I put that.
What?
My bloody my 13. I bought that and then had that whole fuffle of getting the steelbook and shit because they fucked it up.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I got a fresh copy of it. Now I don't know where I fucking put it.
Yes, I mean, Deathloop comes out in 3 days. If you don't already know, because it's fucking everywhere. Also, Guardian's got a wicked ass trailer.
That was good.
Like that, they went into more combat. That looks so good.
Yes. It looks good.
That comes out next month anyway. So
I think
26.
they've learned. I think they learned from Avengers.
Same studio, different teams. I think though.
Something like that.
I think they learned like, let's try and make this multiplayer at all. Let's just keep it a single player story. Like,
because those elements worked in there. It's just how they did that weird open world multiplayer level thing.
yeah,
It's like, let's try to be like Destiny, but only partly. Yeah, they commit or not.
not even as good because the enemies are all the same. Like it's just robots.
Like, why do we quest off these certain zones? Like, let's quest off to this area and do a little bit of mission, then come back. Let's fly off to here, do a little mission, fly
The
back.
story on that game was good. I enjoyed that.
I do want to play it.
The story's good. It's worth it for that. I mean, if you got friends for multiplayer, do that. But I'll move on from that because Guardian's out next month, boy.
Yes.
I'm gonna get a steelbook because it looks so good. It's got all the Guardians like.
Doing that whole pose, typical poster thing. I like how they come
Yeah.
like... It's always funny that they're trying to keep themselves somewhat distanced, but then they reference the movies. Like, they try to still...
I just don't like how they've like tried to copy the character models like
That's what
from
I mean.
the movies.
That's what the big thing was with and that's what kind of got Avengers a bit of flack. It was because they try to be like it, but then try to not be. They try to be... It's like, are you
That's
going to do it
like
or not?
Insomniac. They've done nothing like
Like, do
they've
your
done
own
their
thing.
own
Commit
thing.
to your own thing. Do your own thing. That's why I'm kind of keen to what they're going to do with the Wolverine. Like, fucking hell. Oh, that was fucking uncomfortable. Fuck off. Oh, I saw that out of the corner of my eye. That fucking moved. Oh, that was eerie. That's giving me chills. That's not fucking on.
You know what else will give you chills?
What?
Ghostwire Tokyo. Did you see that trailer?
Oh, no. Actually, no. I didn't see that one.
Come on,
That's
bruh.
one I didn't watch yet.
Yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo. That got a cool ass trailer. It's like a first person. You use your hands for magic. Like it's fucking. I don't know how to explain it. You like shoot things out of your hand. It's weird. Also, it's got a cool ass trailer. Watch it after the potty does. We still don't have a release date for that though, unfortunately. I think it was this year. Could be. I think next year maybe now.
Yeah.
But what they threw in there was weird. That weird Chia game or
Yeah.
Tchia, like they let you jump your soul into animals. It's like, what is this? What is this?
I don't know.
You can be a rabbit. You can be a turtle. You can be a. I don't fucking. It looks like a Wii game. What is this? It's inspired by New Caledonia. So I mean, I might play it one day. Who knows? But we got more. And also, we actually got a release date for Gran Turismo, Daz.
Which one, sorry? Gran Turismo? Gran Turismo?
Yeah, we actually got a release date for Gran Turismo. March 22nd, 2022. Which is pretty damn cool because I'm not going to play it. But I probably will because that game looks so good. They're showing like 3 minutes of it, I think. That event went for an hour. It was
The
crazy.
whole event.
Yeah, it went for 45 minutes. Then 15 minutes was them chatting about God of War and Spider-Man with the actual developers. And also, Grand Theft Auto got delayed
Yeah.
till March 2022. So I'm like, damn. They must be adding big things to it.
Could be.
Because, damn.
There was a few
But
things
yeah,
I
it was,
mentioned off. They had that
it
reveal.
was set for November 11th, so like a couple of months. Literally a couple of months. And now it's March. Same as, I'm going to be so broke the first quarter of next year because everything's come out in February and March.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Every game's set for February or March. Like, it's crazy. It will be announced that the standalone version of GTA Online will be available for all PS5 players with PS Plus for the first 3 months after launch.
Huh.
Yeah, that's pretty. I
bad.
don't play
It's not
online,
bad.
but it's also on Xbox Series S and X at the same time, March, for the actual game. But what I was keen for as well, this one was big,
Out the door. Is it still there, or is he?
but it was what is it? It was Alan Wake remastered coming to PS5
Yes, I
and
saw that.
Xbox as well, and PC, I think.
So he's phased out now.
Also, it's out next month on October 5th. I hope there's a disc. I hope it's not just digital. I hope it's not digital. But why is it remastered?
So I'm just talking to Al about the spirit.
It should just be remade because it's such an old game now.
Yeah,
I tried playing it on Xbox. The controls are janky.
I know it's.
I
It's
quit the game after
interesting that
5
after
minutes.
so long. It's interesting after so long these games are coming. Like
It's like
a
should have
good
been
game, though.
remade.
it's a good game, but
Wait,
yeah, definitely like.
I
very
tried
old.
to. I tried to play it. I tried.
Oh, that was uncomfortable though when I saw that. I'm still feeling
These aren't
chills
in
from that.
order, by the way. These are just put in an order. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I
but it
watched
was-
them randomly. I watched them all over the place.
The next one was Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction again.
Yeah,
We're
still
showing
trying to
more.
push that, and it's just like.
That comes out in January next year. So, other than that, PC players, hold on to your butts. You're getting a couple of wicked ass games coming
Wicked ass game.
with Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy are getting remastered for PS5 and PC. Which it's next year as well, I think. So I mean, if you haven't played them, you don't get the original trilogy, but you start off with 4,
Chills. I got chills. They're multiplying.
which you won't get the references throughout the game, but there's that anyway. You get 4 and Lost Legacy. Which I had someone today on Twitter, I think, saying that they'll wait for it to drop down to $10. I was like, are you that cheap?
But who was this? Which game was this for again? I'm mind blanked. You were talking about it, and I'm mind blanked.
Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy
Oh, yeah.
coming to PS5 and PC.
Well, I mean, they
Someone
have
goes, I'll
dropped down.
buy it at $10.
Why
I'm
didn't they
like,
buy it for
that
$10
won't be
on
$10.
PS4? Why would you buy it for $10 on PS4 when it's been $10? Why would you wait till PS5? Like,
No, they're talking about it on PC for $10. I'm like, that won't be that price.
no, it won't.
We saw Days
Sorry.
Gone and it's full 60.
Yeah, well, I've seen it come down to cheap.
And it worked very well. So this will definitely be $60, probably even more because the two.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I thought Borderlands was getting a remaster because it had like Tiny Tina going off.
Yeah, it's that new
It's Tiny Tina Wonderlands.
that D&D game.
Wonderland. Hey,
It's that D&D game I told you about. Where it's
Yeah,
set, where it's set in the board game.
old school JRPG,
Yeah.
interactive tabletop zone. Like it comes out March 25th.
It's still the normal Borderlands gameplay style.
Yeah, but it's just on a tabletop. It's weird.
It's what they're saying the concept is. Like, you still play
Yeah,
first person running around shooting like normal. It's just the concept is you're playing in a board game. Like,
Oh, you can create your own hero too. I didn't even know that.
that's pretty cool. I figured that's what
Yeah,
they're going
different
for.
skill trees.
But he's just running around shooting and doing
Yeah, that's
different
out in
stuff.
March.
I
So
haven't even finished playing. I haven't even done the third game.
I haven't even installed 3 yet.
I got it on my Xbox. I haven't really played it. I need to play it.
But this game look good. We've heard about this for a while, but Forspoken, that game looks so good.
I haven't looked at the update on that one.
Is that a exclusive? Because it seems to be. Which
Yeah, I think it was.
pretty fucking dope. Because I got one issue with it. It's a fucking big one.
Yeah.
The lip sync is not even anywhere close to what they're fucking saying.
I was like, it's like a dub over.
No, some characters have correct lip sync, some don't. I don't know what it is.
Maybe the narrative went where some characters were supposed to speak different languages, but then they've just gone with a flat redub.
I don't know.
So
Still got a while.
Game,
it comes out next year around this. No, starting next year. Something they got time to fix it.
Well, maybe they had the game where some characters were speaking English and other characters speak like French or German.
No, they're all English.
No, but I'm saying though, like the lip sync is like characters were animated to say.
No, I mean English, the mouth was off movement time, like it was off time.
Off time. Not saying anything different, just off time.
No, it was off time, like it was moving before or after they were speaking.
Okay,
like, yeah, it breaks the emergence. Like
maybe it was just the cut of the trailer. Maybe it's just how the audio was cut from the trailer.
Some people did it perfectly, some didn't. I was like,
it could have been how it was edited.
I just paid attention to it. That's why. But that trailer looked so good. She had that talking bracelet. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then it was weird. She was on a bus and then got teleported to this weird world.
Well, I mean, that's as they were speaking like that. That's like me on the podcast here right now. It's actually delayed. So when you hear my mic, my lips move delayed to the actual audio.
Right.
So I'm in the same sense.
You're fine on my end.
Yeah, on your end, I'm fine. But on my end, what's being recorded is a delay.
That's weird.
It's like a 1.5 second delay or something like that. 0.5 second delay, just 1 second. I don't know. It's very off. It's like, ooh.
But you get to the world of Athia, whatever the fuck you want to say it. That looks cool. You get to like free roam and shit, I think, which would be dope. The antagonist looks pretty normal for they're not someone. How do you put it? They're not like they're just an everyday person. They're not like I don't know how to put it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That comes out spring 2022, which is about April, May next year, I think.
Something like that.
Well, it's their spring, so it's usually after Christmas sometime. And here we get to the big ones. The big ones.
The big games before there's a few of them. Well, we can come back to them anyway. Which one?
Hey.
Huh?
Well, what was that? You say you do it in installments.
Spider-Man.
I mean, we know that till last.
I know we have mentioned them briefly. We have mentioned Insomniac doing these games anyway. But we can talk deeper in it, isn't it? I don't know.
There was a one called Project Eve that looked pretty fucking good.
Project Eve.
Did you see it? Looked like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta.
Oh, yeah.
That looks so good. Those creatures look so good. That hasn't got a release date though, I don't think, or even a window, so it could be next year sometime. But man, as soon as I saw Lucasfilm, I was like, no.
Yeah.
It's like Lucasfilm Games or what do they called it? And Aspire bringing a remake of the classic 2003 game, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes, Aspire's back on it. So it's come out of the way from BioWare and a few of that, but it's back.
Yeah, BioWare's got nothing to do with it now.
So I'm wondering if it's still going to stick to the old. I'm guessing it's going to stick to the old format of point and click.
It would have to, surely. It's a remake, so kind of like what Crash was.
Yeah, not a.
They might have to refine a few controls for sure.
A bit more responsive because it was very janky. Because I remember going and back and trying to replay those old games, and even the point and click was very like delayed. It was very heavy and slow, and I was like, oh, this could be fun a little bit.
Make it play Fear.
Because you could kind of bind it, because I remember playing it, you could kind of bind it so you're like actually playing like a normal controlled game, but it's just a bit janky because of the point click mechanics. Because you're like, how you swung everything, because it's like turn-based kind of almost, point and click.
Oh, well, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe make it more like Fallen Order, maybe.
Cleaner? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it with turn based as well and make it good in 2021.
Because that makes
Easy.
sense. It's like how you moved. Like it wasn't specifically turn based, but it's just like how it felt like it was turn based. It makes sense.
Oh,
'cause of
okay.
how slow it
It's
was.
got some of the original members who made the original as well, who left BioWare, I think.
Yeah, they were part of the more the Aspire side of things.
But I mean, it still was remade for PS5, so ooh. Which is coming to PC at a later date. I think it said it was launching PS5 and then PC either on that day or later. Nothing about Xbox, so people are salty about that. But then someone said about that, and they're like, haha, Xbox did the thing in 2003.
Well,
They made it for Xbox. Remember the exclusive PC and Xbox?
which one was that? The game when it
Knights
first
of
came out.
Republic.
When it
Yeah.
first came out, yeah.
And now PlayStation's doing it for the remake. And people are salty. I'm like,
Well, it was very
"You
limited.
had it."
It was very limited for consoles back in the day in 2003. It was very limited because they didn't bother to try and report it or anything. They couldn't port it. It was mainly PC that they kept working on it for because it never worked. And then they never did the second one, and then they never did the online one that they were going to try and do.
Yeah, but people are salty that it's like, it's not coming to Xbox, I don't think. And
I
then
feel
someone
like
goes, "It'll
it
on
might
Game
be
Pass."
it
I'm
might
like,
be the engine they're working on as well, possibly.
it won't be on Game Pass.
No. Mate, why would it be on Game Pass when it's a PlayStation exclusive?
No, people said Game Pass on the thing. I'm like,
See, this is the problem thing. This whole Game Pass bullshit. Game Pass. Because they're
someone
too
goes,
tired to.
I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to wait for it on Game Pass. These games aren't coming to Game Pass.
Again, it's the whole concept with all these people being all like,
Like,
it's like again, all these people just waiting for games on Game Pass. Like, why can't you just buy a game?
it'll be the downfall of the fucking gaming industry.
Especially
Like,
for Xbox.
Sony's going to be thriving.
Yeah, they make enough money when you buy a
I
game.
mean, PS Now is kind
It's
of the
going to
same
create
thing.
this false concept where everyone expects all these games to be given out to them.
That's what they're already doing.
Like,
That's what they're already doing. Like, I'll wait for it on Game Pass. It's not coming.
that's exactly.
Maybe
it's
on
not coming.
PC Game Pass, not on Xbox though.
Oh, I don't know if it'd be PC
Yeah.
Game Pass.
No, because it could be just on Steam and that. Or, who knows?
You know, through Epic or
But
something.
that could be years off. I think that's it's early in
Aren't
development.
a lot
So
of those PlayStation games on Epic, aren't they? Or are they on Steam? Steam Epic? Or are they
on
just...
both.
Yeah, because you
both.
had like Horizon and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's Steam and Epic.
Yeah, so that's not sure they'll
That's
come
so cheap. Horizon's like $30 now. So days gone. I'm like,
They've
ooh.
dropped down, have they?
Oh yeah. But yeah, Knights of the Republic. I never played it, so it's been my first chance to do it. But out of the last two, three, I must say. Which, when I saw the trailer, I didn't remember. When you look in the bar, I think, what is this?
Yes.
Because also
like,
it
what
was
is
Marvel, didn't it? It was just
Yeah,
Marvel.
it's Marvel
and
when they showed a bar with the
bar
guy.
where you dead
But you
people
kind of
knock
knew
out
the guy
people.
standing there. You kind of knew straight up. As soon as they just said Marvel and it's a bar, you're like, oh, you know exactly what this is. You know exactly
Marvel,
what
and then
this
it was the person up with his knife out, the dude who. They just focus on his hands. I'm like, that's fucking Wolverine.
Like they just knew. Well, I knew straight up as soon as they had the whole Marvel banner and they just showed a bar. I'm like, this is Wolverine. There's no one else in the Marvel universe that likes hanging out in bars except for Wolverine.
What's his name? Deadpool and you got fucking Josh Brolin's dude.
Oh, Cable.
Yeah, you got Cable. He goes.
I was gonna say Thanos. Thanos loves hanging out in bars.
Can you imagine being Thanos? You know, having a game all around Thanos, just go around dead. Dead.
Well, that's why I'm like, it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to do the Wolverine game because he's technically durable.
I think you're going to start in the game OP as shit because he is OP. Like he's unkillable.
I mean, he can get knocked out to the sense where I guess maybe they'll play it as the more damage you take, you'll get knocked out kind of thing.
Yeah, but how did he die in Logan again? He just died, didn't he?
He was old and he was infected. Like he got sick. I can't remember. I got that movie. You got to rewatch it.
I'm gonna watch it again. But I think he looks way different as well. Like he looks more beefy in this.
Yeah, they don't fully show him. They only see his hand, and it's like his arm bulky as.
Yeah, even his foot, like his arms are like this.
Like this.
They're like the width of his. No, they're like the width of his fucking hand. Like just one little thing. It just sucks. If we got to see a face, that'd be dope.
It'll be interesting to see how they made it
If
look.
he's got the big mutton chops or anything, like
He'll have to have the choppies. He'll definitely have to have choppies.
you don't have to.
He always has the choppies.
Probably not with Insomniac.
He'll have the
And
choppies. Wolverine
change
always has the
Peter a lot.
choppies. A lot of the choppies are the ones who'll have full beard. Either way, he's either full beard or it's
I reckon,
choppy.
I reckon a full, like just a little one like yours, maybe. Who knows?
But yeah, he's
Not
always,
like
he's
this.
always
Unless he's
iconic.
got one
No,
like this.
he's always iconic to have his chops. That was always the thing, though. He was always iconic to have, whether it's even if it's the big mutton chops or if it's just the big sideburns. There's a difference.
I don't wonder. Is he going to be in the Flanny? Because that'd be fucking dope as well. Or is he going to be in like his X-Men suit?
Was he in the Flanny?
Yeah, Flanny. I'm looking at the picture. It's a
Wait,
red
that's
and
the
white Flanny. I could just tell as soon as he was in the bars, like got the knife out. Like, was he on his fist? And then all of a sudden, whoosh,
Shing.
like, yes, that was.
It was kind of
just
good
such-
seeing Insomniac release two of my favorite characters, like new stuff on the games.
Can you
Spider-Man and Wolverine.
imagine
Like
if
when
this plays like Spider-Man? Like, you got the same kind of layout,
Like,
or bro, just go
they're my
around.
two favorites. Spider-Man and Wolverine are my two favorite superheroes, and I'm happy that Insomniac are doing them like so well.
You reckon X-Men's in there? Like, you probably get a Cyclops cameos, Beast, fucking every. Like,
I mean, there exists in the universe. I'm wondering is the Wolverine set in the same universe though as Spider-Man?
the same place. Ooh.
Like the same universe because they exist within.
Do you reckon they're going to try and merge the two? Get like,
It's like maybe is that where Insomniac's going? Is Insomniac going to become the new?
making
are they
their
gonna
own verse?
Maybe they might come over better than what Square Enix is doing. Because you see,
You can
Square
already
Enix,
tell they're way fucking better.
Square Enix has tried doing Avengers, and then they're doing Guardians of the Galaxy, which is their redeeming
Let's
of
look at-
Guardians. But you've
let's
already
look
got
at Spider-Man.
Insomniac, and they've already done Spider-Man amazing, and then they've got like
Wolverine.
now Wolverine, which we already know how it's going to play. When you look at how Spider-Man is, what they've done with that. I
Yeah,
can
but
already
are they
imagine.
going to do the same kind of thing, or is it going to be different? Like maybe a turn-based Wolverine game,
Dude,
maybe a
I'm hoping,
first
they
person,
have-
maybe with VR. Oh.
but with like
Come on,
Spider-Man
Insomniac.
and stuff they've got, if they go down those routes, and if we've got like, are we just in the woods? Are we in like cities? Because I would
Well, look at
love.
that. I reckon you're in a town, so
I would love if we have our build, even if it's the trees, and we actually get to climb that shit. I love Wolverine climbing.
like
shit.
Spider-Man, like he could. We had
Well,
to swing it, but if he can jump from.
Well, that's what I mean, because he's got his claws. He always climbs with his claws, so he like punches and climbs up. Imagine climbing up,
Hmm.
and then you can just run and jump to like rooftops, or if it's trees, you like grab on and you just lunge to the trees. And
So pretty much Spider-Man just replaced the skin with Wolverine.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, because you can do all of that, because people forget. He can actually jump. People just don't.
Yeah.
You see the movies and people are like he jumps, he does stuff. Like he can actually like jump, like spring jump.
I wonder if his brother's in there as well. What if they put
Saber-tooth?
in, what's it? Yeah. Well, we don't know anything about it really because we've just seen that little
That's exactly it.
30, 40 second.
He just freeze framed with the most hilarious face.
But it just sucks when they showed it so early now because it doesn't come out for like another probably 3 to 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
because that's coming backseat to Spider-Man 2.
Oh.
You can just tell.
Well, exactly. The next thing, because we've had Spider-Man, we've had Miles Morales, which I need to get and play. Then they'll be doing Spider-Man, and then this is like the follow-up from that. So we'll be going Spider-Man 2 and then Wolverine.
Spider-Man 2 is 2023 though.
I know, that's not too far off, though. We're nearly in 2022. So when's
Yeah,
maybe the
but-
same thing, 2023 as well for Wolverine?
No, probably 24, 25, 26 even.
I don't think
Because
it's
you know
too
they
far
take
off.
their time.
Well, they maybe have already been working on it, though. That's the thing.
Well, they've already been 5 years on Spider-Man 2.
So they've already got it there, and so they could have already been
I
working
mean, they've
on
already
it.
got the model already done, obviously.
So
I'm looking at the detail on that. And that it's
Oh,
so
that's
fucking.
so good.
That's funny. He beat him up with just his fists because the blood in there before he put his claws out.
Yeah. That's
And
when
then he's like,
you know, people forget though he's got the durability of his like muscles and he's got like those bones as well. So when when he punches with his force with those adamantium bones, it's going to cause even more damage. So I say that's why I say
keen.
people forget that he can jump because of his muscle strength. That he can actually, like, remember the Hulk game where you run and you jump so far and you do everything. Like Wolverine can technically do the same. Like he pounces, he can lunge himself. Imagine, and then you got to think about. Imagine Wolverine if he jumps up in the air and he comes down for a punch. You got to think what comes up must come down. When you're a guy that's made out of adamantium, Imagine how much impact you're going to have when you come
I
down
mean,
to
he's
the
not
ground.
necessarily heavier than the normal person, but he can hit harder. Like, he can put
Oh,
his full weight down.
he's meant to be a lot heavier. He's definitely meant to be a lot heavier. Like adamantium is a kind of light material, but you got to think it's dense to his bones. It's fused to him. People forget that he is actually a lot heavier, and he's lugging that around. So you can imagine the
Yeah, but
force he has.
he's not heavy. He's just...
Because you got to think when he didn't have his the adamantium fusion, when he just had his bones, he was pretty quick. People forget, like, this is going from comic books and stuff like that. Like, he was very quick. When he got infused with the adamantium, it slowed him up a little bit, but then his strength got more power because he's got to put more behind it. So when he does stuff, he's more heavier. He's more
I'm thinking, do you start off with the bones in that then, do you reckon, in there? Or do you have to claw straight away like the
I think he might
adamantium?
just have the adamantium straight up. They're going to skip the whole bone claw thing.
Unless they get
Skip all that.
taken away,
Just skip that out
you
of
got
the
to get
way.
them back.
I think they'll just skip that out the way, just because we've seen that happen before in the games and stuff.
Yeah, but the interesting part is, you know who it's being directed by?
Who?
The Spider-Man Miles Morales people, Brian Horton and Cameron Christian.
So it'll be a good story. It's going to be a good story either way. Like, it's Insomnia.
Probably the same gameplay, which isn't a bad thing.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to have those missions where he's going to go around and be doing different missions. Be interesting to
Because
see
he can still
who's...
pretty much move the same, except he just can't swing.
Well, that's what I mean.
He's
You
got
can
to
think about
run
the
and
concept
jump.
of like what you do in Spider-Man. So you fight. So in Spider-Man, you fight. It's typical Spider-Man gameplay.
I don't want
anyway.
to copy and paste of that though. Like, fuck that.
But you got to think of the kind of genre of game. Like what else is there? Otherwise, you got to think of the games that Insomniac has done.
Yo,
What kind of route
this
they're
can't
going
be
with.
kid friendly.
No.
Wolverine's got to be R.
But I mean, I'm saying though, like imagine the kind of like the typical concept. So you look at everything Insomniac's done. It's very open world, even some arena world based kind of stuff. Like,
Everything.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like it's
When
either.
they did Resistance, that was a linear shooter.
That's what I mean. Like they got decent worlds, but like you got to think what he'd be doing. So he'd be in open worlds esque stuff, or even locations, traveling between locations. He's going to be doing.
I don't care if it's linear either, really. Like,
You're
if
going to be
it's
doing
here you
horde
go,
combat.
here you go. I don't
So
care.
even if it's Spider-Man esque, you'll have horde combat moments, which we've seen in Wolverine games before, where you've got to brawl off against the people. You know, like here's a wave of people, and you fight them off, and you got to do something. So you got to clean an area. So whether he's taking on thugs at times, is he working with someone, like.
Well, he has to fight actual monsters, though, doesn't he? Compared to Spider-Man.
Like, is he going to be recruited? Like, is he going to be recruited with someone? Is that why? Like, there's someone showing up at the bar, someone trying to recruit him. Like, are they going to?
Is
Like, hey,
Spider-Man
we need
going to show up in that? That's the question.
Like, it's going to be interesting. Like, is someone going to need his help? Like, what is the concept of the game? Like, is he just going to be doing basic
He's
missions?
not really a helper. He's more of a leave me alone.
That's what I mean. Like, what's the narrative going to be? Like, what's the concept? Is he going to be doing missions like
what
Spider-Man?
are they going to do with it?
Like, are we going to have key missions where you go, okay, do this objective here, do this objective over here, go clear out these guys here? You know, is it going to be kind of like, even though it's not the same genre of game, but like, say, for example, Far Cry-esque, like just for an example, like no, it's not Insomniac, but like, are we going to be doing in like clearing out settlements?
It's going to be first person,
like,
really.
But yes, I mean, like, are we going to clear out locations and like rescue people? Are we getting rid of henchmen? Are we getting rid of thugs?
He doesn't necessarily rescue people, though, does he?
It kind of does, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of game are we going to get out of this? Because interesting.
Not like Spider-Man does. Like, he goes to everyone and just.
Because a lot of people are talking about Wolverine games we've had, and you look at the Wolverine games we've had. They were movie based, so they had a reference to base off of the narrative. They didn't have to do the work for the story; it was already there. They just built off that. And then you look at like games, for example, like Deadpool. See how Deadpool went, where you kind of just randomly went through level to level, taking on hordes of characters. But
and
like,
they got rated badly.
And that's what I mean. Like, I don't think, and this is being Insomniac, where you see Spider-Man, you can swing around freely, just chill, swing around the city. Then you've got like, are we going to see? Oh, maybe like, are we going to see with Wolverine? Are we going to see him like? Thriving? Are we going to see him go from settlement to settlement? Is we going to see him hunting animals to survive? Are we going to see him like? Is there going to be a hunting element to the game? Is there going to be a fishing element to the game? Like, are we going to see like those kind of things? No, but you know what I mean. Though, like, are we going to see things where are you going to like Wolverine's going to be crafting stuff? Like, are we going to have crafting elements like where he might be crafting to hunt? Like, it's a hunting game, like not specifically a hunting game, but is it going to be like? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of game are they going to do with Wolverine? Like, what? Because you are like with Spider-Man, it's easy. You got web swing mechanics. You can web through the city. You can fight stories.
Just pour what happened in Spider-Man over, and it would fit exactly the same
like,
deal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are you going to go through these woodland city areas and cut down trees, or are you going to stop? Are you, ironically enough, going to stop Lumberjack, even though he's a lumberjack? Are you going to be working on a lumberjack mill? Are you going to be cutting down trees? Like, what kind of things are we going to have? Are we going to have him be able to go to the bar? Like, is it going to be like GTA and you're playing as Wolverine? You go to the bar, have a few drinks, get into a boxing
bar
match.
fights.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, it'd be interesting to see what we're going to have out of this. Like, is he going to be recruited by someone?
I wonder. Well, I think we're getting stuff eventually, like end of the year or
Like
next year. We're getting
that's
more
what I'm
of
very.
it. So.
That's what I mean. Like I'm very inquisitive. Like, what would you do with a Wolverine game?
Yeah,
See, Spider-Man
I've got
easy.
the ideas, but I'm thinking it's more Spider-Man-esque, like
See,
the open
yeah.
world. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
That's what I mean, because I can understand with Spider-Man because it's very based mechanic. Because we've seen every other game in the past; they've always been basically the same, even though they've done who they've been done by. They're always that kind of. We've seen a few like linear ones where you're like stuck to those
But they were so limited,
areas.
though.
Like
Now they're really not limited.
Well, that's what I mean. But like we've seen some before where they're based in stages, and you've done
It
battle
better
combat.
not be PG.
Like,
Fuck
oh,
no. It better be
no way it'd be PG.
MARR.
No way it'd be PG. Like, there's no way. It's Wolverine. He's a darker character. He's a group like it's actual fighting. Like you're when he fights, he kills people. He's not just Spider-Man. Like every chance you see how Spider-Man every time you kick a guy off, like they get webbed to the wall or something like that. It's always funny how like that's always laugh when I play Spider-Man. You see a guy.
Like,
you could be like 7 stories off, like 20 stories off the ground. You'll see him kick a guy off, and then they get webbed to the building, and they're still 20 stories up. It's like, who's rescuing them?
him.
No, but like he webs him to the wall, and then he leaves. But you don't go back to him. You're not going back to like take him off the wall.
Yeah,
you're still doing something else. You go after another crime.
Imagine Spider-Man 2. Everyone you leave webbed, he's still there for the whole game.
That's what I mean. Like
you can see him stacking them.
Like you got the MCU and the web's there for 2 hours. What if you do that, web a criminal to the thing, forget to let anyone know, and then it's like the web starts giving away, and the guy's like, oh, fuck, oh!
That web's not going nowhere.
Like, you know what I mean though? Like, what's like these webs are stuck there. Like, that's what gets me with that game. It's like Spider-Man doesn't kill anyone. It's funny how many times you hurt people, you throw cars and stuff, and no one dies apparently.
I wonder though, if Insomniac chose Wolverine or Marvel gave him Wolverine.
Because that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. Because it's a very interesting thing, like Wolverine. Like it's great, it's Wolverine, but like it seems obscure.
I reckon they chose him because it kind of is like Spider-Man, just more violent. You couldn't do anyone else. I mean, Cyclops maybe, but he's got the big ass fucking.
He's not really your friendly neighborhood Wolverine. Like.
No, but they still fit the same bill, except he's just way more violent.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, I can understand fighting the waves of guys, like going to areas and fighting like areas like you had in Spider-Man, when you went to those settlements that were set up by
the movements the same.
And you had to
just
like
run up buildings as well,
fight people and
climb up buildings
and then jump off things and do stuff, or trees. But then you got like that sense of mechanic. If they're going to go that route, like, are they even going to do that? Like, are we going to see a climb mechanic? Are we going to see that kind of?
You'd hope so. It probably can't be first person because unless you got VR, unless it is a VR.
They've only done like, wasn't it the other game? What did you say? Not Killzone.
Resistance. That was a shooter, though.
That's what I'm saying, but that was like what I'm saying. Like, Wolverine's not going to be a shooter. Like,
he has used guns before, hasn't he?
Yeah, in the war sense of war, that makes sense. But like,
when he's boning,
but like,
he couldn't really
as an
be
actual Wolverine character, like, it's a hack and slash. You're going to have to be in hack and slash. But are you going to make it like? Is it going to be like an open world? Like, that's what I'm getting at. If you're doing a hack and slash,
I reckon it will be an open world.
It would have to be, because that's what they do. Like, you look at
Ratchet and Clank. It'll be a Spider-Man thing because it works. Like, you've got to have the freedom. You don't need too much freedom, but you need enough freedom.
Well, Insomniac's recipe is always definitely like, if you look at Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank, even if you go Ratchet and Clank and you cracked it up to adult violence, like that kind of concept where you're running around fighting monsters. Maybe that's where it could be going. Maybe it is monsters. So maybe you are in this whatever area, and you're going to different, like, or you're in this one location. There's
I don't think he's going around killing people like that. Like, Jesus.
No, like, but that's what I mean. Like, you'd be going around fighting bad guys, so or fighting monsters and stuff like that. You'd be have to be running around, like, kind of like, let's just say, for example, you reskin Ratchet and Clank. So, reskin everything. So, I guess that running around, the idea of the map, free roaming around, doing missions and stuff like that. Could you see that being a Wolverine game? Like, if you...
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's what
just like Spider-Man. Like,
it's running around.
Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank are the same thing as well, really.
Except
there's only the one city, so...
that's what I'm getting at. Like, is that what they're going to do? Like, do a
I think number 2's having more of the map. Like, you're getting across the water and that.
I think, yeah.
So that'd be fucking dope.
Island.
Oh, yeah. Brooklyn as well.
I think that looks. That's what it looked like with that shot in that trailer, that scene. It looked different. It looked like a different location of it wasn't normal Was it New York, Manhattan?
Manhattan.
Yeah, normal area.
Was it Manhattan? Yeah. Man, New York.
New York,
I
New
don't
York.
fucking know my
There's
geography
so much
of
around there.
America.
There's so much around there. It's confusing.
It just goes off into different islands.
And that's what they did with the old games. If you remember with one of the older games, I think it was one of the movie games where they had one of the islands, and then when the second movie game came out, they're like, "Hey, look, it's the other islands now." And do you remember that you had to like swing across the bridge to get across? You couldn't just get across. You had to swing. You had to swing to the bridge, swing across the
Yeah.
bridge to get, and then you could swing around a little bit on the island. You're like, "What the fuck?" So random. But I'm keen for the Wolverine game. I'm definitely keen.
I'm keen for Spider-Man.
I'm keen for Spider-Man Forward, especially
I'm
with that
not
whole.
keen for Wolverine yet because we've only just seen that one little.
Well, we already know, like, again, coming back to the whole Venom, which we saw Venom, there was the narrative.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Huh?
Yeah, back to the whole Venom.
What?
He's like coming back to the whole Venom,
The whole Venom.
which I think I know who that voice is as well now.
Who do you
It could
reckon
be
it is?
Craven. It could be Craven or Morbius.
That's true, Craven the Hunter. Yes, that does make sense now because he's always after a challenge. That makes sense. He's always like, who's my best? Who's going to beat me? And I like how when they talked about his one character and it showed like Spider-Man, and then it's like, who's the other? And they made references like, here's Miles. Like he's like, I've versed someone of this style. I've
I
versed
think
someone of this
Venom was
style.
answering.
Replying like,
the voice as well.
I'll challenge you instead. Like, I'll fight you. Like, go on. Then these guys can't do it, but I'll fight you. So I reckon we'll see because we
He
didn't
was an
have
anti-hero.
so we may actually get a black suit as well. We may actually see a black suit Spidey in this
Well,
as
that's
well.
Harry Osborn. He's Venom in that, I think.
Well, that's what I'm getting at because I know at the end of Spider-Man, those that haven't played Spider-Man haven't locked into it. Spoilers. Basically, Harry was being cured by Venom. That his father was using the Venom to try and cure him, which was basically the premise of the Venom movie was kind of going down that same route where they're trying to use Venom to like as a medicine, I guess, to try and they were testing on people to try and make a cure.
I think like that could be Harry Osborn, and he's not bad.
So that's what I mean. Like but we know how Venom's like. So it's going to be interesting. Is this going to be straight up? Are we seeing Harry Venom, or are we seeing like Eddie Brock Venom? Are we actually
Because
seeing?
they gave Venom eyes, like actual eyes in that, like it's dope.
Which was different because if it's going to be if that version of Harry Venom, it's going to be a lot different because it's more infused with him, kind of like the sense of how Carnage is infused with
Old mate.
like that's a bit different because it's not just here's a symbiote that's being a suit
yeah.
like this is actually he was actually being saved because they went down that route where if those have seen the
Because
Andrew
he needed
Garfield,
to fuse to live.
well, I like how that game also was making reference to like how Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was making reference because not a lot of people cover that where there's that the disease they have, the Osborns have that sickness.
The goblin thing.
There's always
and
that
then gonna
sickness. There was
die
other
and-
some like they went more down the darker route in the Andrew Garfield one.
Oh,
But
yeah.
in the game they still made reference to the sickness that the Osborns have.
Hmm.
But they went from wasn't his mother that had it and then he had it.
Yeah, because Norman's fine.
Norman's fine. See that they went a little bit different though, which was still cool. It makes more sense that they've gone with someone. Okay, the mother's had it now. The son's got it. There's the father who's a scientist. Let's try and cure something. Like they've gone with a different, but they're still kind of sticking to base references. Like it's pretty cool. I like how they've done it. But they've still going.
They've kept faithful, but they've just changed little tweaks. So it's not
Too much, but it's their own at the same time.
It's not confusing.
Yeah.
If you can say. Because Insomniac did a good fucking story with that first game.
And I do like that because like it's got Norman kind of going crazy in the sense he's trying to save his son, like he's lost his wife and he's trying to save his son and he's like a scientist kind of thing. They've gone with that aspect, which makes sense of him going a bit crazy. And then you're going to have Harry, which is still friends with Peter because they've already showed that he's well established being his friends and he's been. Well, Harry went off on a trip, vacation or whatever it was. He doesn't even know what's going on with him. He thought he was off on a vacation or whatever it was, which we are finding out that he's not.
He would come back as that.
Do you reckon he'll come back? Do you reckon we'll see him actually come back as him? So you reckon that's what they'll do?
Oh no, I reckon he'll come back normal, but then he would over time, like he'll be still talking to
like
Peter,
he'll
and
come
then
back and he'll be feeling a bit better, like he's been cured, and maybe he'll say, "Hey, this is what's happened. I haven't actually been away. I've been sick, not feeling too well." Maybe explain. And then
he can control that, right? He can control it. Really, give it.
Maybe
infused
not.
with him.
Well, even being infused with him, it's still Venom. Venom's still going to be the base sense that Venom's still got his own
Yeah,
narrative.
but he doesn't want to be seen by anyone, really. Would
I
he?
think it might be the same concept where he might uncover that he's got this other symbiote thing going on, but he doesn't want to confront Peter about it, which he doesn't realize he's Spider-Man, and then the whole Peter. Harry
Does he know Spider-Man? I think he does.
Oh, did he?
Doesn't he?
I don't think he does. I don't think he did.
Or it's just Mary Jane. I don't know.
It's only Mary. I think I know. Yeah, I don't think Harry ever knew.
But I just found out something cool
Yeah.
about Venom. It's voiced by Candyman's Tony Todd.
Tony Todd.
Tony Todd. What a fucking name. Tony Todd. Like Tiny Todd. Tiny Tim or something.
Yeah, Tony Todd.
Tony Todd.
But no, it's gonna be interesting because that would be cool. Like if they go straight to Harry being.
Yeah, but if fucking Craven's in there as well.
I mean, may also make sense too, being the other sense of like another route of Spider-Man getting the Venom suit as well, because Venom will detect, like in fight, they will detect him. Like when they actually battle each other, they'll be like, "Oh, I actually like this person." Like maybe on a.
Someone commented that because it's got the eyes, that it could be Miles wearing it too.
Oh well, you see them both facing it. Like that's actually them in that cut. That's actually both of them go, "Oh shit, what's this?" And it actually comes and attacks them.
Someone said it could be Miles wearing it at some point as well. Because
we might see that.
2 different cuts.
Oh, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to have some. It's meant to be
in that alley.
It's meant to be him coming against him anyway. So they're gonna see that narrative. We're gonna see him fight him. He's gonna be kind of like the bad guy. I think we'll have the reveal where Peter will
bad
undercover.
guy.
I think it'll be one of.
He's gonna be helping him against Craven.
Well, I think it's gonna be one of those moments where is a typical Venom narrative. This is going from typical Venom narrative. No, that's exactly it. The typical Venom narrative, which I've always seen with every narration of Venom, is they're just playing a bit differently. Which Harry will be cured from it. He'll come back. He'll seem fine. Then he'll start declining again, feeling a little sick. But what it'll be is actually Venom coming through. So every time he feels sick, that's exactly because he'll feel cured. It's kind of like the whole Lizard experiment, like Lizard as well. When Lizard was normal, but then he starts changing. Like he'll be like Venom will be in him. He won't realize that he's got this Venom thing. He thinks he's cured.
But Harry doesn't control Venom though, because
no.
Venom's its own.
That's exactly what I'm going to say. So basically, Harry will be cured.
Where Dr. Isaac, he was controlling the Lizard because that was him.
Depending on the narrative, that can be a Hulk situation. Like there, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. You muted it.
They were Dr. Isaac.
Yeah. So
because he was talking as him to Peter.
Yeah. So it depends on the narrative and how you play. But I like I said, the feeling narrative I feel for Venom is, Harry will come back. He'll seem fine. Peter will be like, "Oh, you're back," and then the
was he back in the end of Spider-Man though? I can't.
No, he hasn't. He still hasn't come back. He was still in the. They flash shot him in the test chamber, being tested on with the Venom suit.
Oh yeah.
So it's like the whole twist is like, oh wait, that's Venom. He's being tested on. You know.
Is he in the DLCs though?
No, he doesn't come. There's no Harry at all. There's no Venom or Harry at all. There's only that screenshot teaser at the end, the cutscene at the end where it's like, he was in a test chamber and it's Venom. Do you see the black ooze? And you're like, oh, that's all you see. Him in the test chamber floating, and then you see the black ooze and it cuts.
Well, he's definitely.
So that's what I'm saying. So the narrative. So, hey.
I don't know because Venom doesn't go what Harry thinks either.
No. That's what I was gonna say.
Harry likes Peter. Venom doesn't.
That's what I was. Okay, so I'll come back. I was gonna try. I'll come back to narrative. Yeah. So Harry will come back to Peter like, "Hey, I'm back," and they're like, "Oh, hey, where you been?" And it's like, "Oh, explain that he's been a bit sick, but he won't know what he's been tested with. He just knows he's been better. His dad might have been like helping him out. He may or may not say that his dad's been testing on him. We don't actually know. He will just say, "I'm feeling a bit better now." He'll come back looking better. We'll just see another point where we'll see him decline. And then that's when Venom will kind of kick in, because it's like a immune kind of thing. So he'll start feeling a bit sick, and then Venom will kick in and be like, "Oh, I'm going to help pick you up." And he'll start hearing the voices, which not realizing that it's not his voice, it's Venom. And then we're going to see him kind of decline over the time. Peter's going to maybe find it a bit suspicious, not realizing. Then we're going to see Venom appear and like running around doing what Venom does best. And he's going to be like, "Oh shit," he's going to have to fight him. In the middle of fighting him, we're going to get the reveal that he's going to realize that it's Harry. Be like, "Oh shit!"
I reckon it's going to be that quick though. I reckon it's going to be later.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like this is just speeding through. Like who knows the pace of it all? But this is what I feel like it's going to be with General Venom. He's going to do the whole reveal thing. Realize it's Harry. Harry's going to be like, "Oh shit!" Harry's Peter's Spider-Man. He's my friend. Because he's at first going to realize that he thinks he's a threat. Venom's going to say this is a threat. That's because he can sense him. This whole thing, and he doesn't know it's Peter. So he'll just immediately assume this is a threat. Why does he want to fight me? And he'll be like, "I'm trying to help you," but they the whole confusion thing. So that's going to happen there. Then they're going to realize the identity of each other. Then Venom will most probably turn and be like, "Oh shit, hey, that's my friend. Oh crap," emotions will start taking over. Peter will actually try and either help him trying to cure it or something like that. And then basically from that trying to help him, Peter gets infected with it. Or even Miles gets, or if I say maybe even Peter will get infected with it.
I had the suit in the first game though.
Well, that was DLC thing. That was kind of a DLC reference thing, as for a laugh. That was an actual continuity.
I don't think it was a Venom suit. Though. I think it was just a black
It was
suit.
black suit. There was a black like Venom suit, but it wasn't actual. It was just DLC fun. It wasn't actual continuity suit. I feel like either Peter's going to get infected with it, or Miles will get infected with
I
it.
reckon Miles.
It's going to be the narrative. One of them's going to get infected with it. They
Electric
may go
Venom.
a little. They may get a little bit crazy. One of them's going to have to fight the other one, mostly to try and bring him back in, because they'll be mostly too wild from it, and then the whole circle will come back around, and then
I'm hoping
Venom will be nice and chill.
I'm hoping it's just a single player game still.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting where it's going to be co-op. Well, I mean, it'll still be cool if you drop in and out. Imagine that drop in and out. Like, you'll have single player where you can play as either Peter or Miles, if you get to choose, or if it's switched between the two of them when the narrative
I
calls
like original Peter. I like Peter. He's just.
I reckon even two might do the narrative like you did with Mary Jane, where you played the game Peter and then it cut to Mary Jane missions. It might be the same with
I hated
Miles.
those so bad.
Did you?
I hated them so much.
But no, I definitely.
I got locked on one of them. Remember going around Norman's little. Fucking,
that was yeah. It does get a bit of a.
I was there for like 2 or 3
That was
hours
a big
just walking
penthouse
around.
space. That whole house. That was like a whole house up there. That was a whole floor.
I was lost. I'm like trying to look for one thing to open that fucking door.
Most people only have like a couple of rooms. That was like a whole level.
I had the big living room. Then it had the side dining room. Then it had a thing around a corner.
The whole building was like a whole thing, and then it's like I was like, "Fuck that." Oh,
That was pretty. But no,
like I feel like that.
I showed you the picture before. I'm downloading the remastered one to play.
So,
Oof.
but no, I definitely feel
Oof.
like Venom will come back. What the whole narrative would be, Venom will come through. I reckon they'd like to say it will be Craven because it does actually think about the voice now.
And Morbius doesn't sound that cocky.
No, Craven makes sense. There's the reference talking about the challenge of the hunt kind of thing. I don't know why I didn't click. I was like, who's that going to be?
I don't know who Craven even is, to be fair. I only heard
Craven
it
the
on...
Hunter. Craven the
Googling.
Hunter. He even challenges some of the bad guys sometimes because he likes the hunt. Like
Craven the Hunter...
Yeah, Craven the Hunter, which makes sense, and I feel like
He looks like a fucking 80s pop star.
It's pretty funny, but yeah, he's pretty crazy.
He got a net?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I reckon that makes sense. He might try and fight Venom, but I reckon Venom will fuse with Spider-Man, and that's the only way he's going to be able to take Craven down.
Oh, he's getting his own thing in one of the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I reckon Peter or someone will get the... I think it'll be Peter that gets the black suit Spidey. He'll be infused and he'll take Craven down. He's going to be the only way.
I see him wearing like a lion's head.
The leotard, the spandex leggings, and then the lion's head cut in half.
Oh my god.
Craven the Hunters are fucking hilarious. Is
Is he a serious? Is he like a bad guy or not really a bad guy?
He can be pretty bad. He's Craven the Hunter. Like I said, sometimes he'll fuck. Dude, he's a hunter. He wants the challenge. So that's what I said. Sometimes in the things he'll take on the bad guys because he wants to hunt them down for the hunt.
Hence why you see Venom going, I'll do it.
That's what I'm saying. But I reckon we'll see the black suit Spidey in it, and black suit Spidey will take him down. I reckon that's what we'll get.
Yeah, I reckon Harry would.
No, I don't think he will be able to, but I reckon he'll become a good guy. We may even get hints at. We may even see a original lineup for Carnage, even so.
I hope they do we can play as Venom as well, like at some point.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Can you
That's my
imagine?
prediction. That's my
Oh.
prediction from typical Venom experience from cartoons.
Yeah, but you know,
movies.
some that's not fucking typical though. They might.
No. But I still feel like even some of the stuff they've done with Spider-Man already, there's still some typical tropes. Like they've still got like some of the key detailed tropes. They just change it
Like
slightly.
the Doc Ock stuff and that.
Yeah. It's still in the same.
And that Doc Ock and Electro fight was fucking insane.
Like I said, they still even though they've done it their own way, they still follow the same tropes.
Yeah.
Doc Ock's still the bad guy. He was good. He went crazy. Turned on Peter because he felt like betrayed. You know all the stuff happens. It
I
always
don't know. Do we
happens the
kill him
exact
in
way.
Spider-Man though?
He doesn't kill anyone. You don't kill anyone. You're Spider-Man.
I mean, but did he just die? But no, I think
no one dies.
they're setting up Sinister Six in there too. To be
Yeah,
fair,
they started doing that. They always do that. So we might be
you
going
had,
down
you, had, you had to fight Vulture, Electro. You had to fight fucking everyone in that
Shocker
game.
as well, wasn't there? Wasn't there Shocker? Yeah, the Shocker.
Rhino. No, it was Electro. Was it? No, Shocker.
Was Shocker in there?
Shocker. Scorpion, I think, was in there. Scorpion. He was he fucking just shot poison 24/7 at me.
There's a lot of the characters in that game. They covered a lot in that game.
The weird part was they did it so well too. Like it just come out of nowhere. It's like, haha! I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
Like it was more towards the end of the game. They're setting up the second one with all these fucking
Who was
characters.
the bad guys in Miles Morales?
Just one person. Just that chick who was one of his best friends.
Oh, so it wasn't much.
There you go,
big-
spoiled it for you.
No, that's alright. I wasn't sure how many bad guys you fought up against.
Just one, I think. It's only a 10-hour game.
Because I know there was a lot in
Well, it's more than 10 hours if you want to do
DLC as well.
everything.
Yeah, because I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember what it
the
was, so-
silver lady, what the fucking name
Because the
is.
main guy was Mr. Negative in the main narrative.
Yes.
Was basically the guy behind it all. You had the Kingpin.
He was,
fought against.
I mean, not really. He was not the main one.
It was
really.
more, oh, it was more Doc Ock, wasn't it? At the end, the narrative was Doc Ock at the end, wasn't it?
Setting up the Sinister Six, because Mr. Negative went back to being.
Because remember
I
that
think.
battle with Kingpin? That was a crazy battle. Electro was all over the place. You had Rhino, which was like Rhino was kind of like
The Rhino
Juggernaut.
fights are intense.
Rhino was like Juggernaut a bit with how they did the suit and everything like that. They did him different where he was
I
kind of
love that part where you
That was
in
cool.
Miles Morales where you fucking ride him like.
But like it's a very mixed narrative where they look kind of like they're trying to keep
Sure.
with like the traditional '90s style, but they've made them more what they'd be like
Better.
if you did the '90s in actual like 2000s.
More better.
You more better. But yeah, like they did like you look at the old like if you look at the '90s cartoon of like Scorpion, and then you look at the game Scorpion, they still got him in like the green suit, and he kind of has like those. They still have those eyes and stuff, but like it's a cyber suit.
Yeah, it's made by Norman, I think.
Like yeah, like and then Vulture's still pretty close to the original, like with the cool wings.
Ultra's just like the No
See,
Way
Electro
Home
still
one.
kind
shit.
of was like
Or
took
Far
away
From Home.
the novelty like spandex suit for Electro, but like they still kept the idea of the star on his head instead of it being like a mask. They did the star scar, like that was really cool.
Oh no, this one he had nothing. He just had his suit. He didn't nothing. He was just a bald man.
That's what I'm saying though. He had the scar as a star across his face instead of the mask being a star.
I haven't played the game in ages.
Yeah,
I
he's
can't
got the
remember.
scar where it's like he'd been shot in the face with the electricity, and it's like scarred
Oh,
out across
yeah.
his eyes and then down his cheeks and then up his head in a star formation, which is kind of like when if you look at the spandex suit, he looks kind of bald because he's wearing a dark green spandex suit when he has that yellow scar, not the yellow star bolty thing on the suit, which is kind of cool. Like they kind of kept with the narrative like original. Whoever that guy is, the big guy with the mask, black mask, Mr. Negative,
guy on the mask.
Kingpin, Electro, Rhino, Scorpion, Shocker, Vulture. Oh, it's just Inner Demons. There's more than that, wasn't it? And then all the other ones they had. There's so
No,
many.
it's not. That's not a star on his face. That's his whole face is fucking. That's his whole fucking face is gone.
That's what I'm saying. His whole face got a snow, but the scar's in the shape of their star.
No, it's all webbed off. Like it's all one big blurred thing.
You're not looking at it.
Well, and what I just seen anyway is weird.
If you look at the original Electro costume. And then
Yeah,
you
that's
see,
not like
the-
he's been hit just with a ball light in the face.
Yeah, because how it wraps, you got to see because it curves. It comes across his nose here, and it comes up, and then it wraps
This
back
one
in.
goes all the way
Back
up
in.
around here, around a big circle.
Yeah, no, because his bottom of his face perfectly fine. It's kind of like it looks actually when you look at his face, he could actually put a costume on.
It
and
stops about here.
it comes across here like a costume mask does. You know how you have those spandex costume
Yeah.
masks? It perfectly cuts off like it wraps around his face, like he had goggles on it. Like, but it's the same idea. It's meant to be that representation of like the lightning bolt star. It's like that. They've gone with that style. It's pretty cool.
And then you got that cyber suit.
And that suit changed that big suit. It's really cool. Shocker was cool.
Yeah,
I liked Shocker.
Vulture, Shocker, Electro. Yeah, who's Shocker again?
Shocker.
I want to play the
think
game
I'll-
again. Oh. I want to just play the
Well,
story.
you
all
are
in
going to be
one
playing
go.
the game again. You will be once you update it.
Nope, I'm going to get the platinum. Just
What, you're not going to try and play the game again? You're just going to do that
platinum
one?
carries.
What are you going to
No,
do for the platinum?
I'll play the game at my own pace. I'm not doing all the 100% again. Fuck that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I just said. You're going to be playing the game again because you're updating it.
Oh yeah.
So you're going to
Yeah,
be doing it.
I've got to do the DLC.
Yeah. So you're going to be playing.
I'm done that.
DLC's good.
Ooh, I really love playing as Peter again because playing as Miles is so fucking rough.
Yeah, it looks.
Because he's such a noob.
Yep. So it feels like that. Too.
Like I was falling once and he's like, ah. Like I was swinging.
Like he definitely feels like he's. That's what I heard.
His
That like
fighting's
that.
more sloppy.
Like that's the thing. That's which is interesting enough that they can capture that. Like they can actually capture someone feeling very novice. Like they're able to portray it. Someone being a novice character.
I went from Spider-Man straight to Miles Morales.
It's so interesting that
I
they
didn't
do
like
that
it.
detail. That's what
I didn't like it because I felt like a noob. I'm like, what are you doing?
Because he punches like he feels sluggish and he does things weird.
Yeah.
Like that's cool that they've done that. They've been able to capture that.
And then you get your electro powers and you're like, oh.
Yeah. That's the thing some people forget about. He's got extra. He's got extra
stronger
abilities.
than Peter, I think, with them.
He's a lot different. That's what people forget. That he's not just your normal. He's not
And then
just
when
a clone.
invisible, it's like, sneak around the battlefield.
I know it's kind of cool that he has these extra abilities. You got Peter Spider-Man, and then you got him. But at the same sense, though, technically Peter's Spider is actually a lot more stronger than. Even though Miles has these extra abilities, Peter is stronger in the end. Because he's got this. It's just something about it. He's the original. It's just one of those things.
One of them things.
But then if you got the Ben Parker alternate universe version, he's still pretty strong because he's Ben Parker, Scarlet Spider, or whatever it is.
Oh, fucking have no idea what you're talking about.
He's pretty cool. Scarlet Spider, look it up. Spider-Man Scarlet Spider. He's pretty badass.
I can't believe that. Like, we got Spider-Man and God of War in the same year.
Yeah, again.
Again? No.
Yeah.
God of
again.
War's next.
It's the same year?
God of War's next year.
When's Spider-Man?
2023.
Oh, 2023, damn. So God of War's next year.
Yeah,
damn.
2023 with Spider-Man 2.
Oh, if it was next year, it would have been the two in the same year again. Because you had like
Right,
2018 with Spider-Man and God of War.
No, but the good thing is, Game of the Year 2021, 22 will be God of War.
And then,
2023 will be Spider-Man. 2020 whatever will be fucking Wolverine.
yeah. Insomniac just pulling it out.
Well, Spider-Man didn't win Game of the Year, did it? No, it was God of War.
Well, it depends on what games come out. I don't think there's much really that's massively coming out.
Horizon is next year, so God of War's got a contender there.
Oh, no. If it's against Horizon, I reckon God of War will get it.
No, it depends. It's a new director as well. It's not Corey Barlow.
I reckon God of War will get it. God of War got
Horizon
it in
looked pretty
2018.
good.
It does look
because it was
good.
new.
It does look good, but where they're going with God of War now, like I personally feel God of War is going to get Game of the Year.
It's going to be so
There's
good.
nothing else I don't think besides Horizon coming out that big next year. Like
Of course, there's more, but we don't know what they are
there's
yet.
nothing big though that's going to be next year. There's nothing else besides God of War.
Nothing
There's
from Xbox.
No, that's what I'm definitely saying. Like nothing big.
I feel sorry for the Xbox people.
Halo's nowhere near Game of the Year. Even like it's cool what they're doing, but definitely not Game of the Year.
Halo's never been Game of the Year, has it? Ever.
No. Like good
It's
games,
just
like
not-
they're really, but they're not
Shooters
like.
can't be Game of the Year, I don't think. Like,
Well, no, I mean like you got to counter. In fact, it's not just shooter. Like the story narrative, like the story narratives for Halo are really good, but you got to balance on game narrative. You got to go on the audio narrative, like the gameplay, the sound, the story, the mechanics. Like it's got to be innovating as well. That's the thing.
Sekiro won 2019.
And that was innovating. Like that was a nice look at the environment, the artistry for it. Like these are the things that make Game of the Year, not just like that's really good. Like Halo has really great story and but the engines isn't not
It's
improved. Like,
just
very,
not a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's like it's very run of the mill like everything else. Like that's
It's just like your average COD and Battlefield. Really.
exactly.
So, there's that, but like, oh man, God
God of War,
Ooh,
I feel like definitely God of War is up there. I like Horizon, like from where I'm playing the first Horizon, like I still need to play through and finish it, but like that's a good game. But from that little bit I've played of God of War, over that I played more Horizon than I've played the God of War, and I'm like from that little bit of God of War I've played, I'm like, like this is a good game over Horizon, and I feel like it'll be the same again.
Also, I found out that the new God of War is meant to be 2 or 3 times as long as the first one. As 2018's. I'm like, it took me 60 hours to platinum. Only a 20-hour game.
And it already looked from what they were teasing too, like there's going to be a bit more open world as well, like I was thinking.
I like how you get the fucking sleigh and you...
There's so much more going on with the game, and it's all the stuff that I thought they were going to do, because they're going to...
I mean, I've heard haters talk about it already, saying it looks the same as 2018. I'm like, of course it is. It's on PS4 as well. They have to try and keep them...
It's still going to be expanded and innovative, and they're going to...
Yeah. It looks just the same, but also it was on a 1080p fucking stream. Like we don't see anything yet until it's in
I still
fucking
feel like
full
you may get the
gameplay.
same region to play in plus more. Like you still gonna be able to revisit.
Oh, that looks
area.
way different though. Like the fish people as well. Like what are they?
No, but that's what I'm saying though. I think the world's because it's still set in that area. Like you're still because it's going to continue from where
the
it
Norse
was. So you're still going to have that area region.
mythology. So it's all the same.
That spot.
Not the same region, but it's
there's going to be more
the same environments.
Because it's going to start off where you're still in that same area, but then it's going to lead you off into somewhere else, and you're going to be able to explore a lot more.
They've revealed so much in that one trailer that what's left in the game.
Well, it's weird though, because look how much more times further on it is.
Because the boy's grown up. Well,
Like,
he's
the
a
boys
teenager.
are older, yeah. So you see, it's funny how they teased Thor, which was at the end of the game, but he wasn't that old at the end of the game. The boy's a lot older now.
He was a little kid.
Now, like he's in his teenage years, pre-PBS and being like, mew.
He wants Ragnarok to happen, but he doesn't want to fight in Ragnarok. I'm like,
I know.
Why do you want it?
You say you've been a soldier. You should treat me like a soldier. Like was it to say like you've been?
No, he said, "Don't be a father, be a general." You're like, no. It's
just like he doesn't want that because he knows he doesn't want.
He knows he can rip everyone apart. He knows he can probably his own kid as well. Really.
Yeah. Well, he's Loki as well, so.
Yeah, they really put a spin on that.
Being that he's actually Loki and like. See what he's, but didn't he say in the trailer like I want to know who Loki is or something like that? And he's so like you're Loki though. Do you not know you're Loki?
No, he does.
Loki? Like I want to know who Loki is. It's like you're Loki though.
Yeah, but their future's already been made. We haven't played the game.
Yeah, true. So if they know the future narrative, insight stuff.
Kind of. It was just on a wall. There was paintings of Kratos dying and.
Mostly why I guess ties into why they know of Kratos and rah stuff like that. It's the prophecy foretold, all that nonsense kind of stuff.
Well, his mum done all the paintings.
Yep, prophecy. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's just like whoa.
Yeah, I do need to finish playing that though.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
If a game's been, like I said, if a game for me, like if a game's been out for long, it doesn't bother me if it's been spoiled because it's been out long enough. I should.
Well, you've had 5 years? No, 18.
Yeah.
No, perhaps 18, 19.
Like I said, if it's been...
You've had 4 years.
I said, it doesn't bother me if things get spoiled. Someone can tell me the whole narrative. It won't bother me because it is an old game. Like, if it's a game that's just come out...
I mean, you'll still get shocks through the game, so...
So that's the thing is, like, I hate when people spoil things when they're fresh. Like, when they're a game that's just come out or a show that's just come out, that's what I hate when people are spoiling because it's only just come out. Like, give someone time, a window, like a month at least window or whatever to see. Like, if it's been a year, fucking that doesn't bother me. Like, that's a year.
I spoiled nothing anyway. I just said what happened.
That's cool though. Like,
you still have no idea.
That's a lot. But like,
but
yeah, like
I'm just keen to see. That time didn't pass. Like, I reckon you still play from the start of the game as a little.
Definitely it'll be that because you got to have that Thor fight. There's going to be a fight at the start of the game. Like it's going to be like 2018 when you start off, things are happening and you have that fight. Like that was a slow build, and I reckon with this new one, it's just going to be straight into the fight as soon as it starts.
No, because he talks to Kratos. Remember, he's like, Are you a good man or something? Thor's like, are you a good man? Or
maybe he's asking him like, I want to know.
He says something.
I want to know what you're like before I whip your ass. Or is it going to be different where he talks to him, but they're going to be buddies, and it's going to be like a buddy cop, and he's his new best friend.
Well, he killed Balder. I reckon he's pissed.
Do you reckon? But did Thor like Balder though?
No, but he's still his brother.
Yeah, but these are gods.
Raya hates Kratos.
Hey,
you see, the trailer, she's trying to fucking stab him. Remember the fucking sleigh? She's like, ha!
Yeah, but I mean, it could be. Who knows? It could be different. Like it could. Be,
Freya fucking hates him.
It could be a narrative change for a change where someone actually likes Kratos.
Everyone likes Kratos. It's just that the bad people who don't like him.
Well, this puts everyone else as the bad people. Like, are they the bad? Like we had in the original games where he fought Hercules. Like,
I mean, the gods are dicks. As
like that's what I'm saying. Like everyone's a dicks. Everyone's like the narrative where he fights Hercules and was it 3? God of War 3, where you fight Hercules.
Even in number 1, like the gods are dicks.
I know, but out of all things, technically Hercules is a demigod, and he fights him in fucking the 3rd game, and you obliterate him. But Hercules is meant to be a good demigod. Like he's not meant to. I don't know. Most times they don't
Still
show
the
him like that.
still the son of Zeus. I guess he hated him
Yeah, like
because Zeus is a real fucking dick in
oh,
them.
that's what I'm saying. Zeus though, like those kind of gods, those high tier, like yeah, they're straight up like you fucking with my shit. You know that's when. But like sub tier characters, they don't usually just be like that. They're like okay.
I mean, I'm thinking Thor's gonna be.
I do like that fight though. It was a pretty funny fight because you fight him and you get dodged and then you obliterate him. Then you get the fucking,
You do kill his sons.
you get the claws. The
I'm
fucking
guessing he's more pissed about his
bloodheads.
sons dying
Yeah.
than Boulder, Moody, and someone.
I mean, I get at the same time too, because I guess in that sense with Zeus had his children killed and Hercules had his brothers killed as well. It's the same kind of genre as like Thor and because he was his brothers and Kratos killed his brothers and Hercules was like, I'm gonna redeem my brothers. But it's like if you knew the story, like you'd be like, okay, I can't understand where you're coming from. Like no one took it from
Everyone
Kratos'
knows
perspective.
the gods are dicks.
But that's what I mean. Like
Yeah,
no one took it from
no matter
Kratos'
where they're
perspective.
from, gods
No
are
one,
dicks.
no one out of all the characters, no one gave Kratos the benefit of the doubt. They're just like, I'm going to fight you, I'm going to kill you. Not just like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. I understand what they've done, and I can understand why you're pissed. Like, I can understand.
Yeah,
because
but
they
you
treated him
know,
like shit.
they've instigated Kratos from the very first second of the first game.
I know, that's
They've
what I'm
just
saying.
pissed Kratos off.
That's exactly
the
it.
whole fucking time.
Like, they just dig him in the dirt because they killed his wife, they betray him, they fucking hurt him and shit. Like, they tried killing him and he survived, and he just kept going and going.
He got stabbed through the gut, so like he should
Yeah.
have been dead. But he was
Yeah.
mortal.
Yeah.
Well, he technically is mortal.
But he earned the will of the fucking... Oh, it's fucked. I remember that. It was fucked, that first game.
No, but he's still mortal though. Really.
I think it changed when he became the God of War, though. I think he actually became...
He's
A
not
god.
the official god of war though.
No, but he inherited the powers.
He's not really. Not really he's not powerful though. Like he is,
Like,
but
he
he's
can
not
still-
like a god.
He can still die, I think it is, and he's not like immortal, but like he's still
Kinda like
super strong and stuff like
Hercules
that. Like
thing.
he can't, yeah, he can't. Like he's become like a demigod. I think unless in the narrative he's just in generally been like perfect from the get go. He was a demigod from the get go. Just
Because the Norse god of war they showed in the trailer, I'm like, they just ruined like so much of the story in that one trailer. You got Tyr just sit in the cell, just I'm here forever.
yeah, I was like, hey. He's like, hey,
I thought it was normal height. There's like, what?
he's so big, but he's just so big. He's so grumpy though. He's just like, I like,
He's like, "Are you coming with us?" He just stands up like,
yeah, he's so
little
tall.
man.
I was like, oh my god.
Mate, I get he's the god of war, but like, fuck, he's big.
So he's the Norse god of war, wasn't he?
Yeah, good old Tyr.
So interesting.
He was
it
talked
like,
about in the first game so much.
It's so interesting that he finally
In the 2018, not the first game, but like, fuck.
Well, they're all narrative. They do kind of continue on in the sense, but they're not.
Yeah, well, this is the last game in the Norse. They've only got the 2 games.
Oh, they're only doing a double.
Mhm.
And then
they go into a different mythology, so I'm keen.
so we've gone through 3 games, or actually more than 3 games with the Greek mythology, which is actually what he is. He's Greek.
It was 4 or 5, I think.
There's a
games.
few PSP. There's the main 3, and then there's a couple of PSP games that followed through, but they weren't.
Ghost of
massively
Sparta and
massive.
that.
Yeah.
Then he ended up in the North because he travelled to the Norse.
I really want to play the originals again. I really want to go back over the old games.
I got 3 on PS4, but the trilogy. Bring over 1 and 2. Bring over 1 and 2 to
I
PS5.
really want to play 1, 2, and like even just do a 1, 2,
No, the
and
first
3.
game sucks. I hate it. The game's so fucking hard.
Remaster them.
No, remake them.
Remaster.
Don't remaster. They're too janky to remaster.
Remake.
Yeah.
Remake for.
That's from 2004, 5?
Do a remaster of 3 for PS5.
No, just put that in your fucking PS5. It's,
No, but
it's
like-
on PS4.
No, but I mean like actually do the upscale, whatever.
Oh, yeah, give it the 4K 60, whatever it is.
4K 60, maybe some ray tracing. I don't know. Do whatever
Maybe it's already got that. I don't know.
for the 3 because you've got it on PS4, and then do a remake of 1 and 2. Do it and then put them in a 2-pack, and then bring them.
Put
to
them in a double.
Because then that'd be so good to be able to play those again. Been so long, so long since I've played those. I only briefly played them, but I know the story because I remember Eddie playing them a lot. We talked about it all the time. It was so much.
Yeah, Freya's an antagonist, so it just says on the thing. She helped us so much in the
I need to
fucking
play.
last
I need to
one.
play that. I need to go through it. I need to play that.
Yeah, do it.
How many hours?
Don't just say it. Well, I put 60 into it.
60 hours.
It's roughly just do the story like 20, 25 hours.
Oh, is it just the story 25? Okay.
No, about 20 or
20?
less.
Okay. I
Depends if
I just need
depends.
to stick to the story.
And yet, this next one's going to be said 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Big
double
game.
it, so it's going to take me
Well,
like
that's
over
it. There's a lot
100
more.
hours to
There's a lot more to
platinum.
it, and that's the thing being next gen games too. So it'd be interesting to see if if it's with PS4, they might actually do 2 discs.
Do a GTA, do a Red Dead
Mm.
and a Cyberpunk.
Which I wouldn't be. Otherwise, it's 1 disc and then the rest is downloaded.
I reckon it's going to be 2. You get the install disc and then the play disc.
That's the only thing.
Because with them games, you only get a patch either with
Like I know
Sony
I
first
can understand
parties.
it being smaller for PS5, like on the discs, but that's because the PS5's built that way.
Yep.
Like that's why it's built to be able to compress and do things like that. But
Well, you said now small Resident Evil, it's only like 25 gig.
It's like that's not to be confused with the PS4 because that tech for that is completely different. So that's why those games are a lot larger.
Abe's 14 gig.
Yeah.
That's pretty big though.
I can't wait to get a PS5 so I can play that.
It's on PS4 though.
I know, but I bought the PS5 version.
You got the PS5 one.
I want to play that on
I
PS5.
forgot about
Then.
that.
Like I actually want to properly play that on PS5.
That's fun. I uninstalled it. That's how fun it is.
You uninstalled it? I feel
I'll
like
play
a lot
one
of
day.
the problem is I think a lot of those games the same thing as Crash Bandicoot. I feel like a lot of these games are coming back sticking to the original narrative, but they're being as hard as they were back then when we used to play them, but being modern. So they're being
That's what this is. This is a remake of Exodus.
Because it's more because there's more to it. Because like playing this
Yeah.
is like it's like playing the first games back in the day. Like
But it's continued on.
it's really like because you're playing this again. It's actually kind
Like
of
it's made
tricky.
from Naughty Dog.
Like it's it's actually puzzling. It's actually hard. I'm an adult that grew up and played the old games. Like I go back and play the old games. That's a breeze
we were
because
kids.
I've known that's something. But we were kids and we learned. But this feels like I'm a kid again,
They-
and I'm playing the game from scratch, and I'm like
They
really
kept
having
the
to play
same
it.
physics for the trilogy remake though.
And that's what I mean. Like it's very hard tricky because some of those like the puzzling type. It's like it's actually tricky. Like I'm like. This is kind of like being a kid again and playing the game for the first time. Like, if I actually played through that and got better at,
I haven't played 4 yet. I've got to sit there and
like,
touch
dude, yeah,
it.
it's crazy tricky. Like, when you're doing stuff, like, it's like I said, it's like playing. So, you play now, if you played another 10, 20 years' time, you'd be like, hey, I'm good at this now because it's like the same kind of concept. It's crazy.
That's all we played back in the day. That's all we had was like crashes and
It's so weird.
and you
to
played the
have that,
same game because we didn't have the leisure of buying games every fucking week or so.
which I've got too many games that I haven't even fucking touched. Like that, I need to go back and finish playing this game. So I've had it out to try and remind myself, to, like, play it.
I still haven't played the Kingdom of Amalur, Borderlands, that.
Oh, same as I
I've
got Borderlands.
many.
I got the trilogy that I need to finish as well for that.
I was like, oh my god. Hey, I'm slowly getting through platinums. I'm gonna platinum Spider-Man in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just put the save over from PS4 to PS5, and it goes ding.
Unlocks everything.
The only con is it puts every trophy on the same time and date, so it's the exact same.
Like
fucking trophy.
just do it and then take a screenshot. Look, I platinumed the game and it's like done in a second.
I got the first trophy and the platinum in 1 second.
Do it. You should do it, and then take a screenshot and post it on Twitter going, look, I platinumed Spider-Man and post it on Twitter. And then be like, at Insomniac, complete, I platinumed your
Yeah,
game.
but they'll know what I did though.
That's the whole point. It's the joke. That's the whole joke. Like I platinumed the game.
Some people are playing through it normally, like do the whole game again just to get the platinum. I'm like, there's so much tedious things.
But then if you've got everything, if you transfer everything over, then you can actually just enjoy the game. That's the best part.
That's right. I'm gonna platinum it, then start a new game and just do the story and some of the side stuff
on the new graphics and the new look and everything. Like
with the ray tracing. Oh,
the ray tracing, the new face.
that looks fine.
But that's the thing, you can actually.
That's how Spider-Man 2 is gonna look now.
I reckon that's the cool thing too. That's the plus thing of having a PS5. You get the new stuff. You get the new face.
You're still stuck with the old face.
That's not wrong. But I do
janky.
like. Well, after looking at the new one now, like I liked the old face, but now actually looking at the new face, how it runs and everything, it actually looks better. Like
the face is like so big and janky.
it's so weird now looking at it. Like it made sense when they first came out, but looking at it now,
It's because it wasn't the original voice actor. It was someone else's head on that.
I mean, that happens a lot of times. That happens a fair bit of time. But
Well, when you put the original actor, like as you've seen with the new face, it works. Just keep doing that. I mean, it's not the exact face, but like just model it from their face.
exactly, Tom Holland. Yeah.
It does look a bit like that. It looks like a Garfield and Holland mashup.
Yeah. Well, the other one looked kind of like it tried to be like more Garfieldy without being Garfield. Because he had that weird like head, that big head with the hair, like how
Yeah,
Garfield
but
was.
then it had that weird plump ass cheeks, like it was sticking out. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
because like the old face looks like young Garfield compared to where Garfield's now.
He hasn't changed.
Well, he had a lot skinnier
Really?
face when he was younger, though. He had that very triangular face where it was like very small, thin jaws, and then he had that big, thick head hair.
Uh,
And now he's got like more of a plump, round face because he's older. But
but yeah,
anyway,
God of War next year. Hopefully, there's still no release window. Just,
makes sense.
I guess they're trying to get it right. I reckon it's gonna be a holiday way after Horizon.
After the other titles drop.
That's in February, or it could be the mid-year.
Well, it makes
game.
sense. A lot of those studios too are very polite with each other. They'll give each other a window to release. They don't normally release against each other. They like to be pretty polite.
I wouldn't say that. We had Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us in like a month gap.
Yeah, but that depends on the studios though. But you gotta look at Insomniac and like things like that. They're usually pretty. Some of these studios are pretty polite with each other. They like to give each other.
I reckon it's gonna be
But
either mid-year or holiday. We see God of War, and it's just gonna go.
It's the only difference is when it's like cross-platform games. Like that's the difference. They like to compete, understandably. Like different games on different platforms coming out the same month. That's one thing. Like if you got like Halo will try and drop when other games, like big games try and drop. Like that's what things like that.
COD and Battlefield will be in the same. Well, it's not this year,
They
but
try to compete, but then you got games that are on the same platform, like Sony games. They like to. Sony likes to go, okay, we'll do this window for this game, this window for this game, unless it's up to the developers while they work around it.
and then give or take some if it's been delayed or.
But the excuse as well with The Last of Us, it was delayed a few times. There was hiccups, so they had to pick a window, and it just happened to be the same window close to.
just after, just before Tsushima,
That's the only.
I'm not complaining.
It's just what they had to work with, but most
But I
time,
finished up before Last of Us
yeah.
because I got freaked out and I fucking rage quit the game. I was trying to fight the Rat King. I got scared. I knew what was coming.
Ghost of Tsushima. Apparently,
Huh?
that's looking really good on I was thinking coming back to Ghost of Tsushima PS5 now.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna get the director.
Have you seen how beautiful it looks on PS5? Oh my god!
It did before.
No, but
I'm
like
gonna put in the disc and get the update, but
apparently there's a little bit more to it with the PS5 version. Apparently, but
that's
it
why
looks,
I'm
it
gonna
looks
got the thing.
like it looked. That's what I'm saying. It looked amazing on PS4, but like PS5, like it's just like holy shit, like I knew it was going to be like that. Like I knew it was going to be amazing, but it's just like like it actually hit its potential. Like
That's why I'm keen for the sequel. Whenever I'm still keen to see if they're making a sequel or not.
well, the
I mean,
bonus
of
to
course
being
they
a
are.
sequel, like they'll actually be building in the new engines, like actually
For
PS5
the-
engines, like
Oh yeah.
they had to adjust and upgrade because it was built in PS4 and then still working.
I'm
with
thinking
PS5.
it's gonna be an Infamous though next. To be fair,
An Infamous. What do you mean? Infamous style.
just an Infamous 4 or whatever it is. 3.5, 4. Because Second Son's not a numbered one; it's just Infamous Second Son. So
Yeah, it was a bit different.
maybe Infamous. That's a good game though. People underrate that so much.
Oh, that's a good franchise. Such a
I
good
never played the
franchise.
first two.
Oh, that's so good.
I attempted to, but it was on PS3, and
Same guy, and then there was the whole thing with the experiments and stuff, and then there was the boy and the daughter, the guy and the girl, Second Son. But Second Son, it made no sense because Second Son was the main game, but then the daughter was DLC.
yeah, she was the neon bitch.
It was weird.
That's its own
But
disc
it was
though.
was it
as
Coleman?
well.
Coleman? Cole?
Cole.
Cole? Yeah, it's Cole. Yeah. I like that though because it was the kind of games because you could play as being you could go from being good or bad, like you can follow the narrative and made your character a hero or a villain kind of thing or an anti-hero.
I've done hero because you get so much cool powers, but even you get better powers as a fucking villain.
Like that's
You
why I
get,
like
like,
that. I like
whoa.
that both games though, but it was kind of funny. You had him in the first game and you could be bad or good, and then kind of the second game kind of picked up from where you were, but then you could redeem yourself if you wanted to and go good, or you could just stay bad. I'm like,
And
that's
the
so
third
cool.
one was just you can pick. You can do both at once. Really, you can go from one to the other.
It was weird. And then the second son just ignored that altogether from what I remember. It didn't even have that. It's just like, here you go, just do this. It's like there's
No,
no...
that was where you can do both.
Was it the third one?
Yeah, Second Son.
Could you do both? I can't remember now. I played...
Yeah, you've got a meter. You can do good or but you can do both in the one playthrough.
I just don't think it was done... Maybe I'm thinking it was because it just wasn't done the same. It was a bit different.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel the same, which was kind of cool because your actions were very thought about, like how you controlled running around. Because you just be chaos and just, you're like being Electro. You could just fucking shoot everything and do whatever you want, or you had to be actually think about it. You had to specifically target and be careful.
Just...
It was pretty cool.
You vents, just come out the other end.
And it was a good filler. And it was good. See, that game was good. A good filler when we didn't have Spider-Man. It was a nice little filler.
Yeah, that was a launch game.
I like those games.
No, not a launch. It came out 3 months.
And I was like, this is cool. This is like being Electro, but not related to Marvel. But I'm Electro. And you could travel through the wires and everything like that.
Yeah.
Such a cool game. But anyway, we've gone pretty far. We've actually gone 3 hours.
I knew it's a bit like Spider-Man and shit.
I knew it. I was like, fuck. Maybe I might go back over this. No, I don't know if I'll go back over and cut things out.
We're gonna go over for a few more games here. No,
go back over and just go back. Fuck it. We can talk about other stuff. I'll just go back and cut out the COVID talk. Just cut it out the video. I'll leave it in.
Natural, then.
You know, it's going to be sucking now. Now I'm going to try and fucking. I was going to edit things and put things in. Now it's going to make it even worse and longer because now I'm going to try. Fuck. If it was a shorter video, I said to myself, if it's a long video, I'm not editing it. Edibles.
You're not going to edible it.
No, I don't know if I will now. Edit in the meme here. I don't think I won't.
I don't think I won't.
I don't think I won't. I don't think I will. That Steve Rogers meme at the end of Endgame, and was it Infinity War?
Yeah.
End of Endgame?
No, Endgame.
Where it's like, I don't think I will. Old man, it's like,
just put it in your thing.
I don't think I will. They're so smug, Steve Rogers at the end. Old man, he's just so smug. I don't think I will. He's so smug with himself. Palmy bastard. He was never really that smug, but he was so smug. But it's because he aged. He got so smug at the end. He's just like, I don't think I will. He's so smug, the fucking bastard.
That's the thing.
Oh. Anyway, I think it's time to wrap it up. We'll let you wrap it up if there's nothing else.
I got nothing. I just had that really.
We've had our whole 3-hour fucking video. Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
I wanted to
after we said we wouldn't do it again, but Sony Showcase has done that a few times now.
We got it out of the way.
Yeah, we done it quicker because we raced through the first games.
we got stuck talking about Insomniac though. That was the thing.
Yeah, it's worth it though. They are like they're up here.
An hour Insomniac.
I mean, probably like 40 minutes, 30 minutes. They could have went longer if we kept going into Wolverine and Spider-Man.
If we went really deep into the lore. If I got carried away. I abbreviated the lore. But anyway.
No, another couple hours there.
Alright, come on. We'll wrap this up for everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us on episode, 37?
37.
As always, we've been Kale and Jim, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Da, 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 da. When I see you again. When I see you again. When I see you again. Oh! In my head, in my head. Zombie, zombie, zombie. Skibbity bop bop, nut up.
Keeping that in, are you?
Boom.
Fuck.
What an outro.
Let's see who watches all of it, though.
Jody. I haven't actually heard back from Jody either. Jody, how's your mother doing?
Hey, Johnny, how's your mama doing?
You haven't got back to us on that one, buddy. Little message at the end here, Jody. How you doing, man?
He probably never got that far.
If you get so far. If you get this far, if you do listen to this episode, message us later in the chat whenever this is up when you do listen to it. Just randomly at any point in time. This is a little message at the end for Jody. Oh, even Wookie, if you listen to this. So there's a little bonus at the episode. Even it depends if you got this far. Just put a little GIF or a little photo in the chat in our chat later of Steve Rogers with the I don't think I will meme. Just post that meme in the chat. And that's what I want you guys to do. If you listen this far right now, post that in the chat.
I don't think I will.
Anyone else that listens to that, go to the Twitter and post it to the Twitter and tag us at it. I don't think I will. I want to know if anyone hears it. If you come that far, just post that meme to us on Twitter. And of course Juddy and Wookie, post that to us in the chat. I don't think I will.
I don't think I will.